Oh, hey, didn't hear you come in. How's it going? I have a special Friday night live stream for you. It's kind of rare, it's random, but I'm hoping to do more of these in the future. I did them last year where I collab with different people, different walks of life, get their thoughts. And since being back in Minnesota, I've been able to meet with some new individuals that have found me via the channel. One such person came up to me, tears in his eyes, saying, "Sir, Adam, I love your content. I would love to collab with you, be on the show and talk movies." And I said, "Well, what do you know anything about? Because come on, you want to deal with me, you got to know something, bring something to the table." And he said, "Well, I know a lot about comic book movies." And so I thought, in my infinite wisdom, it would be great to revisit the tried and true MCU. Didn't mean to rhyme that, but it rhymed, so here we are. Anyway, there are 37 movies in this crap factory now, ranging from pretty damn amazing to why did they make this in the first place? And we're going to go through them. We're going to go through all of them. Michael, I'm going to bring you on now, and you can say hello, tell people where they can find your channel, and we will just get right to it because 37 movies we have to cover. Hello.
How's it going?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, man. This is genuinely a dream come true.
Oh, great.
I found your channel when I was a senior in high school, and so being able to actually be on a stream with you it's pretty surreal, I gotta admit.
Well, I mean, we're friends now. We go to movies together, yeah. So it's just nothing. It's nothing. It's a cup of coffee. We saw The Naked Gun the other day. We both laughed our asses off watching that, so that was a fun time.
Yeah, we finally saw a good movie together because the other three have been pretty crap.
Well, and if you would have gone to the earlier one, I know it's hard with the schedule, but I had two good movies in a row because I also watched Together. I have a review going out on the channel tomorrow for Together, so something to think about watching. Something to think about. Okay. Anyway, well, you have a channel. What's your channel before we begin?
Yes, I do. I am Movie Man Michael on YouTube. I also can be found on Letterboxd and Serialized and GG if you have those apps. Basically, Serialized is like it's Letterboxd for TV shows, and GG is video game Letterboxd as well. But on those platforms, I am Iron Pack Fan, IronPackFan, because that's what my YouTube channel used to be called before I rebranded. Back in the day when I was in college, I was mainly just doing like video edits. So I would cut together clips from movies, pair it with music. And I would just do those really infrequently. Didn't have like a following or anything. Right now, I'm currently sitting at a measly 306 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'm not a big channel by any means, but
well, that's what makes it fun is I have different people that some people have big channels, some people don't even have a YouTube channel. My buddy DJ Bless, who used to do episodes with me once in a while, he didn't have I think he had a YouTube channel, but he didn't review movies. He made music. So it's just nice chatting with people that love movies, and I don't really care at the end of the day if you have a channel or don't. It's not really. It doesn't mean anything. I just want to talk to people that like movies and have the love for it like I do. I have some buddies that I've gone to movies with since I was in high school, and I beg them constantly, or I like at least throw it out there like, hey, why don't you come on the show? Why don't you talk movies? We have a good rapport together. It'd be fun to hang out. And they have kids and lives, and I guess a Friday night stream for them isn't like their greatest idea of how to spend it. But I'm glad you're here, Michael. Let's just get into it. I think we should just into it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to rank these movies. Michael and I have both put together our own rankings. I'm sure there'll be some debate as to where they go at the end of the day, but we're going to go in order from the release of these films. We're going to work down the 37, spending no more than a minute on each of them because it's a long time. And I guess we'll start with the tippy top, the one that started it all, the man, the myth, the legend, Iron Man, released in 2008. Jon Favreau directed, Robert Downey Jr. set the standards. I will let you go first because you're the guest and I'm a gentleman.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Iron Man is my favorite superhero. So flat out, I love this film.
Okay.
It was the first time I saw it, I was, I think, like 9 or 10 years old, because I didn't see it in the theater. I was in like first grade when it came out, and I had no idea what it was. It basically, if a superhero wasn't Spider-Man, Batman, or Superman, I didn't know who they were at the time. And then, you know, Hulk and Wolverine were other two prominent ones, because I think Wolverine had a movie come out in 2009. But Iron Man 2 was coming out, and my friends were all talking about like how cool it looked. And so I was really wanting to see that, but my mom's like, you got to watch the first one first, because it's not gonna make any sense. So I get that one on DVD, and I watched it and I loved it. I think at the time I was telling myself that Iron Man 2 was the better movie, but over time I've just grown to appreciate Iron Man 1 so much more. It's just an incredibly well-made movie. The CG is leaps and bounds better than so much of the other movies that have come out in the franchise these days. Realizing Iron Man on screen was just such an incredible, like, just scope for the film. Adapting his origin that was a little bit more akin to the Extremis arc, because they recontextualize his origin in this book called Iron Man Extremis. That's also where the Extremis thing came for Iron Man 3, which they changed drastically, but we can get to that later. But yeah, the whole origin of him being in a cave and everything, that was mostly based on what happened in that movie, or in that comic. I loved how they incorporated the 10 rings, which was a tease for the Mandarin, Iron Man's arch nemesis, which eventually wouldn't really pay off all that well in Iron Man 3. And then I thought the casting was perfect. Robert Downey Jr. lives and breathes this character. And yeah, to this day, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, easily in my top 10. And currently rating, are we doing ratings as well right now? Like in terms of where it's on the list, or are we going to save that for after you
No, I think you just tell me where it's at right now on your list.
Okay. So overall in the entire MCU, this is in the number 2 spot.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very high praise for Iron Man. Well, we're not like entirely far off. I have this at number 6 on my MCU ranking. Still very high. This is a great film. I loved it. I'm still bitter and jaded to this day that it was the one time I was invited to a sneak showing via email. I don't even know what the chain was, but it was over a month in advance. And I went there not knowing what the film was. It was a mystery movie. Went with my wife. We showed up about a half hour early. The line was wrapped around this fucking thing, and we didn't get in. They overbooked, and we didn't get in. And as we're walking out to get our free tickets for another showing, I asked the person working the line, what was the movie? And he said, it was Iron Man. I'm like, cool. Glad I didn't get to experience that ahead of time. But no, I did eventually.
It was a month before the movie came out.
Yeah, it was like a big early release thing. Yeah, I was bummed out. But yeah, no, you said it all. It's gritty, it's realistic. The new movies lack that kind of realism that you used to see in the early Marvel days. And I think the reason the CG holds up and works so well is because there's just not that much of it in comparison to what we have with modern films. So obviously they're like looking at budgets and how they can scale back, and it's going to go down to, we could maybe go a little lighter on some of the effects work on the Iron Man. Some of the details going to go away because we have so many things to render in these modern films. But no, Iron Downey Jr., Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man Jr., Downey, Robert, Iron Man. He was great. I love the movie. I think it's wonderful, and it really set the tone for what was to come. So yeah, it's in my number 6 spot. I have a few ahead of it that I think are amazing. So that's not discrediting this movie by any means. There's a lot of good stuff in the MCU. Sorry. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I would also like to point out the score of that film is incredibly underrated. Everyone talks about Iron Man 3 having the best score in terms of the Iron Man trilogy, and definitely it does have a standout score. Mm-hmm. I still think that first Iron Man movie has an incredible score, incredible soundtrack with like even the AC/DC licensed music, and then they carry that over in Iron Man 2 as well. But I don't know, something about that score, like the suit up sequence when he first puts on the Mark III and it's spinning around, the music play.
Yeah.
Speaking
of amazing, Michael, let's talk the Incredible Hulk. I'm sure this one's really
Spider-Man.
I'm sure this one's really high up on your list too. Same year, 2008, we get the little teaser with Nick Fury. Was that at the end of the Incredible Hulk?
That was Iron Man.
Was it Iron Man? And he teased the Incredible Hulk. I don't fucking. It's been so long.
It was so Iron Man ended. Which, funny enough, I did not see that post-credit scene for at least like 3 years, even though I owned it on DVD and everything. I just was in the habit of, okay, credits started, turn off the movie, or credits rolled in the theater, leave the theater. That's just how it is. So I think Iron Man 3 was actually the first ever post-credit scene I saw in the theater. But yeah, it was Iron Man 1 ended with Nick Fury. I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative. And then Incredible Hulk ends with General Ross in a bar, and Robert Downey Jr. walks in and says, "What if I told you we're putting together a team?"
Okay.
And that's what that one was. But yeah, Incredible Hulk. I did not see this movie until I was in 8th grade. I was really late to the party on that one. I don't hate it nearly as much as other people do. I feel like this for a long time was a punching bag in the MCU. Okay, so like comparatively speaking, and on my list right now, out of 37, it is ranked number 17. So it's like kind of middle of the pack, but at the same time, like just judging it on a film as a film by itself, I would give it a 4 out of 5, no question. Like Iron Man is a solid 5 out of 5. I would give Incredible Hulk a 4 out of 5 because honestly, something that I am really missing from the MCU these days is when they made the Hulk a threat. And I really feel like the last time we had that was, I mean, maybe Age of Ultron, but I would say Avengers, the first one, was the last time we truly felt like the Hulk wasn't played for a joke. And this one, I think, totally realized him as a Jekyll and Hyde type character with way better CG than whatever the Ang Lee 2003 Hulk was supposed to be. I liked Blonsky as a character, as a villain. Ross, his connection to the whole thing was really cool. I also appreciated, and kind of like what Fantastic Four was having to do, where we've seen so many iterations of these characters that, you know, we kind of have to bypass the origin. So at the beginning of this movie, you get like this quick little snippets of his origin because we just saw 2003 Hulk do the whole Bruce Banner origin story. And then as we're doing the credits, we're getting that. And then we can jump into the actual narrative. Edward Norton, I thought, did a pretty good job. CG on the film is kind of aged, especially that third act battle. The action's still cool, but it looks like a video game. It straight up looks like a video game.
Yeah, Liv Tyler just cries in everything she's into. I couldn't really stand her as a love interest. She's just always sopping wet like a fucking mop, crying constantly. Edward Norton, I love Edward Norton in most of his movies. This one didn't work for me. I was more team Eric Bana, not the movie, but Eric Bana. I liked him as the Hulk more. This film to me was
he's a good actor. Yeah,
this was a rough one for me. I don't know. I didn't care for much of it. I found it to be silly when it shouldn't have been. Like the whole attacking him at the school campus was just kind of crazy, of the army like rolling in tanks during the school day.
See, but I love that fight though, because when he's up against the glass and he clacks his hand against it and it cracks and then it like morphs and he jumps out. Just how they shot that was so freaking cool. I loved it.
It's got moments. It does have moments. I just am not really. This one didn't gel with me very much. I have it pretty low. It's at 32 on my MCU ranking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if it didn't work for you, you know, I guess
it didn't work. Sense. I would say more, but honestly, I've blocked most of the movie from memory. There's just too many garbage movies I've seen over the years that have taken the place in the brain. That the Incredible Hulk really doesn't do much outside of the final fight's cool because you get the two hulking creatures fighting in the streets. That's fine.
I also understand why Kevin Feige never wants to work with Edward Norton ever again, because apparently he was very controlling behind the scenes. However, without him, Hulk never would have said Hulk smash in that film.
That was a big thing.
Yeah, like he fought for that. He had to fight for that.
That's okay. That's wild. All right, we're gonna go to Iron Man 2, the 2010 Iron Man 2, which you just said a little earlier you thought was better than Iron Man not that long ago. So I'm very, very interested to see where you put this on your list.
Not that long ago means like 15 years ago when I was.
I mean,
like
not
10,
that long ago. I'm sorry, not that long ago in the conversation. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Iron Man 2 was fun for the action. It's definitely a film that I still really have nostalgia for. I remember all the marketing for it. I was very excited for it when it was coming out. That was another one I didn't actually see in the theater, but wound up seeing on DVD. I thought that, like, looking back on it, they tried to do way too many things, because the main villain who's marketed is Whiplash, but for about 70, yeah, gets hit by a car 4 times, doesn't die.
Walking, you know, in the middle of the raceway, there's like 0 officers at this huge big event. There's like 1 security guard. Ugh.
F1 has no security whatsoever.
How do we stop this guy that's got an open chest? Like we can't shoot him? Yeah.
No, but for like 70% of the movie, Iron Man doesn't even know he's alive, right? Because he fights him on the racetrack. He grills him in the cell after he gets detained, and kind of, you know, makes fun of him or whatever. And then after that, Justin Hammer has this whole breakout scheme where he, you know, presumably died in an explosion at the cell, where they put that other guy in there with the same number, so people think it was him. And then Justin Hammer just takes him back to his facility, and that's where he keeps him. And so Justin Hammer is the main threat of the movie for the entire movie, I guess. And Mickey Rourke was pretty pissed about that, because he even spoke about how much effort he put into his Russian accent and his performance, and how many scenes they cut. And then he just winds up being like, you know, discount ironmonger with whips. War Machine.
I mean, they cut Terrence Howard altogether from acting. So
yeah,
that was a big issue for me with this movie. One of a million issues was the fact that they replaced Terrence Howard with Don Cheadle, great actor, but my God, these guys were like completely different characters in terms of how they approached it. He didn't look, sound, have the same cadence, anything as the previous version of, you know, War Machine. I don't know why they felt they needed to even recast. They just didn't have Tony have another buddy that works at the government. I understand he's a comic book character, but is he really that critical? I mean, Marvel's made so many changes over the years with characters. It doesn't seem like it would have been that big of a deal to just have him be a different dude. But that's a personal hang up for me.
Okay. Rhodey is a pretty big deal for in the comics. And I'm not like an expert on his narrative or anything, but in the comics, he was, I believe he was a part of the West Coast Avengers when they were doing that whole thing, because there was too many superheroes in New York and they had to move them somewhere else. In fact, so I started reading the actual original Secret Wars comic. I haven't finished it or anything, but right away, I'm not entirely sure the full context, but right away, it makes it clear that Tony Stark is AWOL. He's not around, and Iron Man right now is Rhodey. So, like, right out of the gate in Secret Wars, Rhodey is the Iron Man. I would say he's a pretty integral character, especially to the Iron Man mythos. There's plenty of other ones that you can play around with, obviously, but keeping Rhodey as a mainstay in the franchise, I think, is the right idea, especially for character if you're going to do something like War Machine, especially how they teased it at the end of I bumped my mic. They teased it at the end of the first movie, and that was hilarious. How next time, baby, and then never comes back.
If only this happened during the multiverse, then they could have just said, "Oh, this is a different War Machine. He came over here."
And you could say that about Edward Norton as Hulk too.
Everyone doesn't matter. There's no real consequences anymore for replacing characters. Okay, I have this one. Where did I put this shit on my list? This is at 31 on my list out of the 37. I found this movie to be a hot mess for some of the reasons you said. That you got different chefs in the kitchen doing different things. Mickey Rourke shows up and then he's gone for almost the majority of the film. You have the Avengers stuff also making their way already into the main movie and not in the end credits. Nick Fury's here. You got Black Widow, which obviously a very major pro as well, seeing Scarlett Johansson in this movie, but it takes away from the narrative. Yeah.
Crazy thing. I am currently the same age that Scarlett Johansson was when she played Black Widow in that movie. That is just a surreal thing to think, because like, I don't feel like I've earned being that old yet. But this movie I enjoy from from a nostalgia standpoint, I like it more than I don't like it. I acknowledge its flaws, but it very much is a flawed film. They tried to do way too much to set up Avengers, while also cramming in way too many other characters. And
I
Iron Man
also
solves his daddy issues and his heart by inventing a new element, because he heard a rousing speech from his father from the 70s or whatever it was, and was like, okay, I know exactly how to fix this palladium core issue now.
Yeah, I also have it lower on my list because kind of like X-Men 3 or
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3, although I've forgiven it over the years, the quality drop from the previous entry is just it's pretty egregious. Like Iron Man
Yeah.
1 is just a solid, well-made film from front to back. Doesn't really have a lot of issues that you can point out outside of maybe the villain being a little silly in the final act. But Iron Man 2 is just tonally kind of like a shit show. It gets really comedic at times where they have that fight at the penthouse and they're throwing weights at each other, and it's got that dumb
Another
song
one bites
playing.
the dust.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't match. Great song by Queen, but it doesn't match the moment. Yeah, so that's why it's lower, because the drop in quality is so much more noticeable.
Yeah, I have it at 21 on my list.
Yeah,
Because
so
again,
you're a little, yeah, you're lower. Okay.
yeah, it's currently the lowest one that we've talked about, but yeah.
All right, so 31 and 21. A little bit of a separator, but we'll push on. We'll push on. We'll agree on one of these. Okay, next up, I'm going to do this ahead of time because people come and go from these, so I want to make sure I update the film we're talking about. In the bottom bar, we're going to Thor. The first Thor,
Yes.
2011. You got Chris. Which Chris is it? Hemsworth in this one. We got a Hemsworth. We got Loki. Tom Hiddleston. I enjoy this film. I don't love this film, but it was kind of keeping the solid, gritty, realistic momentum going, even though this was by far the most off-world, crazy one of the bunch so far, mainly because they're just, the topic at hand is gods. So we're already getting out there with Marvel, but they still kind of kept it grounded. You got Natalie Portman in this. You got some, you Oscar award-winning actress showing up for this thing. They're doing a bit of a Hamlet approach with the brothers. It's not bad. It's just unfortunately not great. It's just, I think, a good. It's a nice good across the board. I have this at 24, somewhat on the lower side, kind of in the lower middle for me. But Tom Hiddleston as Loki is a fantastic villain. He starts with promise. He will only get better with age in these movies. Hemsworth, by far the most serious in this one. They'll shake him up a little, make him a little bit more interesting, but he still has some comedic elements in this, like when he smashes down the beer. It's played more though as a fish out of water though than necessarily him just being kind of a zany guy. Yeah. Enjoy it, don't love it.
Thor was the first MCU movie I saw in the theater, actually, and this is before I even knew that the MCU was like a connected thing. So when the Destroyer shows up, and I did not register in my mind that Coulson in this movie was the same character from the Iron Man movies. Like when the Destroyer shows up and they go, "Was that one of Stark's?" Like my dad and I laughed at each other, like, "Oh, hey, that was a funny little thing." Or
That's
whatever.
right. I forgot about Coulson in this.
Yep.
Also, before you continue, someone had a great point here. Where was it? I saw it. A lot of Dutch angles in this one. As far as the cinematography goes, there's a lot of like angled shots in this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could believe it. I'd have to watch it again. I haven't paid attention, but
and yes, Kat Dennings. Shout out to Kat Dennings. She's really good, and they went all in on her for the sequel because they're like, shit, we don't. What else do we have to offer? Yeah, we're Kat Dennings, and then they just get rid of her altogether in the third.
Yeah, she was like, she was just like the intern in the first one, right, or something.
Yeah, she was just like the sidekick to Natalie Portman, and then they gave her like the whole arc in the sequel.
So the first Thor movie, I love this film. Honestly, it's I wouldn't say like perfection. I would give it a 9 out of 10 though. I really have a hankering for the old Phase 1 Marvel movies. I had a great time with this one. Kenneth Branagh, I think, is an incredible director. Sometimes I forget that he made this movie just because of, I'm thinking like Gilderoy Lockhart from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets made Thor. That's so funny to me.
Pretty cool.
But
and there's also, you know what? I mentioned Oscar winner Natalie Portman. You also have freaking Odin in this.
Yeah.
You got
Anthony
Hopkins. Yeah. you got top tier actors in this shit.
Yep.
Is Heimdall in this?
Heimdall, yeah. Idris Elba.
Heimdall. What? Yeah. Thank you, Idris Elba. Yep.
And Rene Russo as Frigga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a cast.
Yeah.
Before you continue, one more thing I wanted to point
Yes.
out. The first act of this movie is freaking perfect. And I think that's the big issue with it is everything off Earth is so damn good. Had they just stayed there, I would have been all in. When he goes to the ice giants and just tears up shop, nothing ever gets close to that again in the second and third act. And that's the problem.
When they're all sitting around and talking about like he's just building them all up about like, you know, what they've done and what they can do, and just is like, we're going to Jotunheim. Like that whole moment, the ride to the observatory, that track, I forget the guy who did the score, but that piece of music is absolutely beautiful. Some incredible music in this film, some incredible cinematography, visual effects all look great. The Destroyer, freaking awesome. The sound design on the laser that comes out of its face, I love it. I thought I didn't know much about Loki prior to this film. The whole plot twist with him being a frost giant was because I wasn't versed in Norse mythology at all. My only knowledge of Thor prior to this film came from the Marvel Superhero Squad cartoon on like Cartoon Network or Disney Channel or something. I can't remember where it was, but I really had no idea who this character was, and then I saw the film come out and I'm like, oh, okay, he's getting a movie now, cool. And I thought Laufey was a great like supporting villain. Loki was a very conflicted antagonist that I really enjoyed as well, because he's kind of just doing it all for the right reasons, but like just the worst motivations. Right. And I do agree.
He's bitter. He feels lesser than, he feels unwanted, and then he seeks out the truth and doesn't like what he finds out. So. Yep.
And I agree that when they were on Asgard and on the other planets and stuff, like that was far better than when they come to Earth. I do enjoy the Earth stuff. I kind of enjoy that they kept him Thor the whole time, because in the comics, when Odin banished Thor to Earth, he lost all of his memories and he became a doctor named Donald Blake, which is why when he gets the clothes from Natalie Portman, there's like a sticker, like a name tag on the shirt, and he's like, who's this? And it says Donald Blake, MD. And she's like, oh, sorry, that was my ex. That was just like a little nod to it.
But like, okay. Yeah, that's lost on a non-comic book reader. I did notice, did you mention it? I can't remember, that we have Hawkeye in this movie as a cameo. Yeah. He's basically, he's just like a glorified security guard. He's working.
Want me to take the shot, sir? Or do you want to send in more guys for him to beat up?
Exactly.
Early
showing.
I did not know that was him the first time I saw that movie, and I didn't even remember that he was in the movie until I rewatched it. I thought I could have sworn for the longest time that Avengers was his first appearance, but I like that they threw him in there, and it was nothing more than just like a little, people who read the comics will understand this, but otherwise it's just another mercenary. Like big deal, you know. They could not do that today. They would have to glam it up. They would cast some big name actor. Jeremy Renner was nowhere near as big as he is now as he was back then. Like, and that's the other thing this movie did. It took some chances on some no-name actors like Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston. They were no names before this film. They stacked all these other well-known actors, Stellan Skarsgård, Rene Russo, Natalie Portman, Anthony Hopkins around them, but they really took a chance on these guys, and it paid off, because freaking Chris Hemsworth, easily one of the most underappreciated acting talents in the entire MCU. Like, people think of him as Thor, but I loved him in Furiosa. He was great in this one movie called Bad Times at the El Royale. I honestly just wish he would get more like indie films, you know, like smaller things, kind of do like a Robert Pattinson, get away from franchise stuff and just really flex his acting muscles, because the guy's got the power.
He does. He's got the baby blue eyes too. I mean, he's a dream to look at, but he
really bleached eyebrows in this movie.
Well, I mean, he really can act though, and he can show the emotional range, which unfortunately it gets a little toned down and a little silly with the later Thor movies, but he proves it in these early ones for sure.
Yeah.
All right, where did you put this thing?
Oh, this was number 13 on my rating.
Oh, wow, you're really high with this one. Okay.
I really love this movie.
As we talk about it, maybe I should have moved it up a little bit more. Oh my God, you know what? I actually do have it behind something that it shouldn't be behind. I have
Was
to update this list right now. How embarrassing.
there?
Uh,
There's a comment. I see a comment set by Ty Saban. Was this before the town? I believe Thor was after the town. I think the town was 2010. If I'm not
that sounds
mistaken.
right.
Yeah.
I have to change my answer for anybody that's writing these down for some reason. I don't know why you would, but Thor should be 22 on my list, not 24. It was
22.
no. I didn't even look at this thing. I made this list years ago, and I just realized I must have been on drugs when I made the list last time because there's quite a few. I'm gonna move this all the way
Oh, your favorite movie is, of course,
over this list.
Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2. That's where I'm at right now.
That sounds fair. That's my life or opinion. It's yours. You can champion it. Okay, go
Phase
on.
3, we're gonna go to war, man.
Yeah, go on.
But yeah, first Avenger. No, I think this is an incredible film. It's lagging. Am I lagging? I see people saying it's lagging.
Possibly. Who knows? I've never had
Little
issues
white
before
circle.
since
Oh,
being
crap.
in the new place, but let me look on my
Stream is
phone.
buffering. Crap.
Let me look on my phone. Calm down. We'll be okay. This isn't my first rodeo with stream lag.
Is it back, people? Can you hear us?
Yeah, so he's back. And it happened during it happened
We're
during
so
the
back.
joke.
Xtem. Yo, Micah. What's up, man?
I have no lag over here, so I don't know what
Really?
kind of bullshit
Okay.
people are.
Someone's saying we can't hear. What?
They're trolling.
No way.
They're trolling.
Yeah, it's back, bros.
Okay.
Okay. Someone said they didn't hear what your favorite movie was. I was saying his favorite movie is, of course, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That was the joke. And then he kicked me off for having the correct opinion, saying that First Avenger is the best Captain America movie. But anyway, yes, I love this movie. It's one that I've grown to appreciate over the years. For the longest time, I was on the fence about which one was better, this or Winter Soldier, but I think I've just grown to appreciate this one more because it really delves into the humanity of Steve Rogers. I love the scene between him and Erskine before he gets the serum, where he says, he asks him, "Do you want to kill Nazis?" And he just says, "This is, I don't want to kill anyone. I don't like bullies. I don't care where they're from." And the whole idea of, after the procedure, just do one thing, stay who you are, not a perfect soldier, but a good man. And that's been kind of my argument for the whole Sam getting the shield instead of Bucky kind of thing. Eventually, when you get to Endgame, but because that's literally what Steve says to him before he goes into the portal or whatever to go back in time. He says, "You're a good man, Sam." So it's like,
So you
also,
like the deep, profound social commentary of doing good to others that hits you, that really strikes a chord with you. Like, wow, I never really thought about it like that before. This movie's perfect.
Don't suck.
10 out of 10.
Wow. Yeah. I loved Hugo Weaving as Red Skull. I thought that was incredible casting. I loved how they really didn't back down from making Hydra feel quite so comic booky with their Tesseract guns and everything like that. That was probably the most comic booky film that they've had in phase 1 before the Avengers, at least. But I really liked that they just embraced that, because I feel if 20th Century Fox was making this movie, they wouldn't have given Captain America his helmet. They would have given him a shield and a black leather jacket with a star on the back. They would have made the Red Skull like a dude who's missing his nose, and Hydra would have been like, they just straight up would have been Nazis. They wouldn't have had this subsect thing with the skull. And I know for a fact that they would not have tried that because of how they what do you want to call it? Nerfed the X-Men and how their look was. I love the X-Men movies, but that's one thing that I
the first few,
yeah. But no, I love this film. I think Chris Evans was the perfect Captain America. The CG of his face on the smaller body genuinely threw me for a loop when I was a kid. I had I was like, okay, obviously he can work out, but how does he get taller? Like, that doesn't make me. It didn't even register in my head that this could possibly be like that good of CG. And maybe by today's standards, it's not quite as convincing, but back then when I saw it in the theater, I was blown away. And Alan Silvestri did an incredible job with the score. Joe Johnston directed this, and Heartfelt.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Great. Yeah,
it was wild how they were able to map his face onto Timothy Chalamet's body for that scene. It's very.
No, I believe it was Christian Bale from The Machinist.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
But
well,
yeah,
I'm glad you liked it. Where did you put it again? Did you say?
It is my number 7.
Hmm.
Honestly, argument could be made that it could be bumped up to 6, depending on how much I sit on 6. A lot of these are arbitrary. I could flip them one way or the other for long.
I mean, it's at number 6 on my list. If you throw a 2 in front of that, I have it at.
Come on, man!
I have it at 26. You know,
it was a war film. It was cool.
I found it to be a little long in the runtime. I found the action to be a little hokey. And it was by design, but it wasn't a design I was feeling. So the movie takes place, during World War II. It's in the 40s. And they're really going with the propaganda angle. Not only are they doing the propaganda within the movie using Captain America as like, hey, I'm Mr. America, come fight for us, take out Hydra. They're also making the movie like it as well. So there's kind of like a slideshow, like look once in a while. It's got this old timey feel. And I don't know, they just went a little too much into that 40s comic booky aesthetic for my liking. It felt a little too separated from the other, MCU movies that have come out. It was by far the biggest departure, I would say, from even Thor as far as the look and the feel of the movie, which it's good to have it stand on its own, which it definitely does. But it did not work for me in terms of the excitement, the action, and the whole him being a goody two-shoes. The Boy Scout, that was fine. It makes for a different type of character. Not necessarily the most exciting one to watch, though.
I just like that they take that, because when you have that kind of character, a lot like Superman, when you take that character and you really push him to his limits, because after Bucky dies, his entire demeanor changes. Because he goes from saying, I don't want to kill anyone, I don't like bullies, to immediately saying, I'm not going to rest until all of the Hydra's dead or captured. He's trying to get drunk. He can't get drunk because of his healing factor. And he is just a completely different person. Bucky
didn't die, though. Bucky didn't die. That's Cap.
When I was 11, I thought he died.
I think everybody thought he died. Did he like fall off the train or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he fell into a gorge off of a train.
Your classic gorge fall. He somehow lived. Everybody lives.
You didn't see a body. He's not dead.
Exactly.
So I love the ending too. Yeah. I love the ending too. I loved how they
shows up in present time or whatever.
Yep. Because at first, again, like I said, I didn't know this was all a connected thing. So when he took that bird into the ice, I genuinely thought this was a one and done. Captain America story is over. He's gonna die. And then when they woke him up in modern day, I was like, oh crap, this is insane.
Mamma mia, here we go again.
Are you gonna be okay? Yeah, I just had a date. Cut to black. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I love that movie. Yeah. I've seen it twice this year already.
It's a well-made movie. It really is. Yep. These are obviously just opinions. I don't knock the movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's just wasn't my style.
Falling from a cliff is like a lightsaber to the stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're Qui-Gon.
Okay, we have a big one here. The culmination of several movies lead to dun, 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 dun. The Avengers 2012. Michael, we got to talk faster because we've only covered 5 movies. Jesus.
Yeah, we
got to talk fast. You need to shut up and talk faster.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Avengers. You got Captain America. You got Black Widow. You got Thor. They're in there. They're all in there. This is the big Joss Whedon movie. We don't say his name anymore. He was somehow just complete. You want to talk about not surviving a gorge fall? Whedon was thrown off that shit, incinerated, shot. We don't ever hear about that guy again. But he was like the god back when these movies were being made. Like Joss Whedon, he's the legend. And this movie was fun. It was fine. It was colorful. Maybe a little too colorful with the Captain America suit. But I had a good time with this. It was a big spectacle. I put it at... Where did I put it on my list? It's kind of high up there, to be honest with you. Number 7. The Avengers. I'm even shocked by my own ranking. The Avengers is at number 7 because
is that just under Iron Man then? Is that
That's just under Iron Man. Yeah.
okay? Okay.
It's just under Iron Man. This is the one that really set the standard for what we would see with the big battles. The whole downtown New York fight is freaking epic. You get the first time where a character is going to be interrupted mid monologue and get the shit kicked out of him, or the Hulk starts smashing Loki around, and then they would beat that joke into the ground after about 18 more Avengers movies.
Yep.
But this one started a lot of things, and I appreciate it for that. I like how Loki kind of turned the Avengers against themselves, and these people are working together for the first time. A lot of different types of identities butting heads and trying to decide who's in charge. Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. It's good shit. It's really good. I still enjoy the crap out of this movie, warts and all.
Yes, this is I'm just gonna say it right now. It's my number one on the list. It is my favorite movie of all time.
Of all time?
All time.
Wow.
All time. I saw this in the theater when I was 11 years old. I was with my dad. It was unlike anything I've ever seen in my entire life. It is the only movie I would like. My favorite franchise of all time is Harry Potter. This is the only movie that outshines Harry Potter in any way. It is an incredibly made film. I know everyone criticizes it for having really flat lighting because Joss Whedon shot it like a TV show. I understand that, but at the same time, the CG models of Iron Man, of the Chitauri, of Hulk, I have not seen it. I don't see an issue with any of it. I think it looks incredible. I think this is the best Hulk we have ever had, period.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It's not even close.
Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner in this film was just so like that is what I want moving forward. And instead now he's just a freaking joke and it pisses me off.
I know, it's so frustrating how
in this film.
He was so good both as Banner and as Hulk. He was like a serious, intelligent, rage-filled dude, and then as the Hulk he was an unstoppable force. Now he's a punchline from front to back, but that's another conversation altogether. I'm glad you love this movie. I really am.
I got low. I didn't see an end, so I put a bullet in my mouth and the other guy spit it out. That line, chef's kiss. That was incredible. I love that. And I can probably quote this entire movie front to back. I've seen it like over 50 times at least. That's awesome. This is my favorite movie.
I think it's a great movie. So we're kind of in agreement. It's high up.
Also, I was dying laughing in the theater.
Yeah, there's lots of action. There's big like battles. But this one, you see like Hawkeye shoot off the top of a building. You follow the arrow as it takes out the back of a ship that Black Widow is just thrown on top of, and she's killing a guy. Camera moves down to Thor and Hulk teaming up to take down one of the giant
Leviathan.
Oh my God. It just keeps going too. This camera is so fluid throughout then it like goes down the skyline with Iron Man and you're cruising along with him. Oh my God.
Stream's lagging.
Oh my God. Let's not worry about it. We just got to push through. I'm gonna say it's on your end because it's just always pristine over here.
I don't have any issue. They're just saying it's okay, whatever. Anyway.
Just push through it. We both love this movie. I'm glad to hear it's your number one.
Yep.
I mean, my God, I could maybe move it up a little bit higher now that I'm talking to you about it, but we'll stick with where it is. Just as an aside, and I've said this for many years, ranking videos are bullshit. They've always been bullshit to me. I just like talking about the movies, and this is an easy excuse to kind of have a conversation. You ask me next week to look at my lists, I'm going to tell you that some of these are dog shit rankings, and I should move them up and down, and it doesn't matter. End of the day, you have a third of it that's going to be movies you love. You're going to have a third of it movies that are mid, and then you're going to have a bottom section of trash, and that's where I stand with it. Okay, we're at Iron Man 3 2013. Downey's back, got a nice new contract, I would imagine, at this point, where he's going to be making insane amount of money. We got the Mandarin in this, but not really. And we got a promising trailer that says this is going to be a darker film. This is going to be like BioShock, kind of. Remember that shot in the trailer where he's like getting wrapped up and pulled onto the ocean? You're like, holy shit, this is going to get serious. And then the movie was kind of not so much that, but I still have a good time with Iron Man 3. I think it's quite a bit better than Iron Man 2. I like that it's a bit more focused on Robert Downey as Tony Stark and less so him in the Iron Man suit. I like his budding relationship with this little kid. I like that he's got PTSD from the last film where he's fighting freaking aliens and almost kills himself. There's a lot to like in this film. And I also thought it was cool as shit in the final action scene where he's hopscotching from suit to suit as these dudes are just ripping into him. That shot where he runs and jumps, lands inside of one, like, that's cinema. I'm here for it. That's cinema. Shane Black directed. He's really good at kind of like the buddy cop stuff. And this time we get to see him and Don Cheadle play a lot together, and that worked. It was the first time where Don Cheadle really was winning me over in this franchise. Probably the only time, honestly, where I thought his character really worked with Tony. So I have this ranked at, it's not like super high. I got it at 19. Right in, kind of in the middle.
That's funny because I have it at 18, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I agree with Tony, Youthful Eagle Elias or whatever, Ilias. Shane Black makes bangers. We don't talk about the Predator. I have seen 3 Shane Black films: Iron Man 3, The Predator, and Nice Guys. I believe it was Nice Guys, right? He made Nice Guys?
I think so. I'm more familiar with his older movies, but yeah,
he was in the first Predator as the super vulgar dude who was trying to make the other guy laugh.
Yeah, with the glasses, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he did like Lethal Weapon, a couple of those, maybe all of them. The Last Boy.
No, that was
he wrote them.
Richard Donner, wasn't it?
Didn't he write them?
Oh, maybe he did. I don't know.
Maybe not. Let me look. My memory's failing me, but I thought he wrote. Actor, director.
Long Kiss Goodnight. I still need to see that. Sam Jackson says that's his favorite movie of any of the movies he's been in. And
Long Kiss Goodnight's that movie's fantastic. Gina Davis, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep. It's been on my watch list.
It's really fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Iron Man 3.
He wrote. It says story by. Oh wait.
Harlan.
Story by. He did this. He did Lethal Weapon 2. It says story.
Okay.
Maybe that's not. And then he wrote Lethal Weapon. Yeah, I don't know. It's
okay.
IMDb sucks these days. It's so hard. Yeah, he's credited as writing for Lethal Weapon. Anyway, go on.
Okay.
We're in the weeds.
Hot Wheels. I'm not straddling the line. I like Iron Man 3. It's my second favorite Iron Man movie, but at the same time, it's not nearly as good as the first one. I do enjoy it. I remember the hype leading up to it. I'm like, holy crap! I'm finally being able to see an Iron Man movie in the theater for the first time. This is going to be awesome. The Mandarin is supposedly his, arch nemesis in the comics, and they're adapting him. This is going to be great. And then they did what they did with the Trevor Slattery thing, and I hated that. And then the ridiculous Aldrich Killian. I am the Mandarin. So Aldrich Killian, fun fact, this story is heavily based on the Iron Man Extremis story that I mentioned earlier. And what's up?
You got to remind me to change the films because I forget. Iron Man 3. Sorry, okay. Everybody. All right, we're back.
So basically, this is based on the Iron Man Extremis comic, and Aldrich Killian is in that comic for about 6 panels before he puts a bullet in his head, and that's all Aldrich Killian has ever done in the comics, to my knowledge. And then they make him the main villain of this movie. Maya Hansen, Rebecca Hall's character in this movie, she's in that comic. So I appreciate that they brought her into this. I wish she was a little bit more focused on, honestly. If you dropped all the Mandarin stuff and saved that for a potential Iron Man 4 to happen in phase 3, because honestly, I would have loved to have one more Iron Man movie after this. I know they kind of closed it out with like he gets his arc reactor removed because they didn't know if Robert Downey Jr. was going to renew his contract or anything, so they just wanted to at least stop it. Or wrapped up that story. But so I really like this one. I thought it was funny that they put in Iron Patriot or made War Machine Iron Patriot.
You're like,
what?
We were like legged out. You roboted like crazy.
Oh crap. Am I good?
I don't know.
I can hear you, but you're kind of stuck.
Well, I'm not moving, that's why. I think we're okay. I don't know.
You're kind of roboting?
I'm okay, I think.
Okay. Am I good? Do I sound all right?
Yeah, but there's definitely some internet issues going on. I don't know if it's on my end or your end. I'm
It
getting
might be mine. It might be mine.
okay. Well, we'll push through it as best we can.
Yeah. Okay. Um,
Now Michael's gone again.
what was I saying? I'm gone.
We're both we're both coming and going.
Okay.
All right, we'll just
Um,
keep going through it.
yeah. Iron Man 3. I liked it. Second favorite of the trilogy. It is 18 on my list.
Okay, 18. Yeah, that's right. We're tied on that one. Okay, let's push on a little faster. Let's go to Thor the Dark. I'm sure this is in your top 5. Everybody's really hot for Thor 2. Thor 2. Where do you have it and why?
Right. I'm sorry. um, so I will admit I will be completely transparent. The villain of this film is absolutely terrible. Malekith the Accursed is one of the worst villains in the entire MCU. This is a very, very flawed film, and I am 100% aware of that. Yeah, I maybe I'm being generous. Again, these are arbitrary rankings. I like this one. I love the visual style of it. I love the music in it. I love the character development between Thor and Loki. I liked the Warriors 3 and Lady Sif. I liked that we were exploring more of like the Asgard, the cosmic, or like the otherworldly side of things. Obviously, you got the whole thing with Jane on Earth and everything that isn't nearly as interesting. But no, I really have no ill will toward this film and have never really understood why so many people have been so antagonistic toward it. I mean, obviously, if it didn't work for him, I've heard people say it's boring. I mean, okay, fair enough. Like, if it just doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. I can't really say one way or the other about that, right? But I love. There's moments between Thor and Loki in this film that I genuinely appreciate. Everything with Thor and his mother, how her funeral, with the music that they play in that sequence, the visual style of it, how it's just completely silent when it happens. That scene I absolutely love. Again, maybe I'm using like small good things to really emphasize why I like this or overinflate my rating. But I don't know. For some reason, this is always just one that's stood out to me, and I don't know. I've never hated it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
Please destroy it.
No, I don't hate it either. I just find it so incredibly forgetful at the end of the day. And again, it doesn't do anything very different or interesting. I also found the story arc to be bizarre for Loki, where he's once again double crossing Thor, but he's using the same trick he does throughout the whole movie, where he can just kind of like become someone else. At one point, he turns into Captain America. And the power is so kind of like puzzling to me, how he's able to do it, how they're able to like physically touch him at points, that I can't wrap my head around how he's even pulling this off. So it kind of just frustrated me. Like, your magic little orb and shit is really inconsistent throughout this film, and it's a huge plot point. It also kind of doesn't help, like you said, that Malachite or whatever the hell the white elf's name
Malekith.
was, he's so incredibly generic, and the threat is not there at all. And they can tell that the story is not entirely that interesting, so they ram Kat Dennings in it more. They give more comic relief in this one. It feels like they're starting to fall down the slope of, oh, we're just going to do like fun little comedic things constantly to keep people engaged, instead of making a story that's a little bit more worth investing in. And so it's not that I hate Thor 2. Like you said, the brother stuff's really good when it's there. It's more just in Avengers, and I saw it in the first Thor movie. What else do you have? And it turns out they don't really have anything else for this one. That's all. I have it at 20. No, I have it at 33. It's very low on my list.
So I guess Alan Taylor, the director, actually wanted to use Hela in this movie, but the Marvel committee prohibited him from doing it and forced him to use Malekith. So that was a limitation on the story right there. And also, there was a lot of reshoots done by Joss Whedon in this film, which the third act battle, at one point a fighter jet gets called in to handle it, and every interior fighter jet scene from that movie is repurposed from the exact same fighter jet in Avengers that fought the Hulk. If you pair them side by side, it's the exact same fighter jet.
God.
So
okay, well, a little fun fact for you.
Yep.
Let's
also,
go
why did the Avengers not show up in London when this giant alien ship crashed in? Anyway.
Yeah, no shit. Okay, let's go to Captain America. Let me get it in there. Let me get it in there. The Winter Soldier. A movie that pretty much universally hated by everyone. Michael, I'm sure this is probably last on your list, like it of course is last on mine.
This is the worst Captain. No.
Yeah, right. A far cry from the first Avenger, I would imagine. I have this at number 9. This is pretty high. It's in my top 10. Really kind of set a new tempo going forward. This one felt like, hey, we're getting back to something more similar to Iron Man 1, but we have the budget now for like an Avengers film inside of a standalone movie. And so you have like the slick spy thriller shit, but you also have the large scale stuff in the final act with Hydra. I love the espionage. Black Widow is at her peak in this movie. Love the straight hair. It's really working for me. That's just an aside, but asides are what I'm about. It's awesome. Plus you got Bucky back as the Winter Soldier, a huge threat. He takes out Nick Fury early on. Is he going to live? Is he going to die? There's a little bit of stakes in this movie. So yeah, I was for it. Plus you have such iconic moments like the elevator beat up scene, plus Captain America versus the plane. It's all good. It's all good. It's at number 9 for me, easily.
Yep, it's number 8, right underneath First Avenger for me. The Captain America trilogy in general is just a really tight-knit unit in my ranking. Not a whole lot of spread between that trilogy. I really do love those movies, and I've rewatched them a couple of times this year just alone. Winter Soldier, yeah, it is just it made Captain America cool, I think, for the masses. It was Jason Bourne if Jason Bourne was Captain America. Winter Soldier has the coolest freaking introduction in this film, where he's standing in the middle of the street and takes down Fury's car. I love that sequence. It made him such a menacing.
Pulls a little spinny thing underneath. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the lightsaber. Oh, you mean his bomb that shot on
his bomb? The bomb that he'll.
Yeah. I was talking about Nick Fury pulls out a lightsaber to cut his way through the ground and into the sewer.
Oh, that's right. Does he use that same? Does he use that same little bomb thing in Thunderbolts to take out the limousine? It's nice. That's nice little callback. Okay.
Yep. I really wish that I did. Well, a friend of mine told me that it was Bucky because that's just how the comics did it. But I really wish that Kevin Feige had been a little bit more coy about it, because I remember seeing an advertisement, like a behind the scenes featurette before the film came out, and he literally said that the Winter Soldier is Bucky Barnes, when they the film treats that as a pretty big reveal. And obviously, you know, the casting sheet's going to say Sebastian Stan, but like, I thought that was kind of lame, man.
Yeah.
You know, but no, this film is incredible. I think it's the best Russo brothers Captain America movie, which isn't saying a lot because there's only 2 of those.
Well, they've done a bunch of the movies though. They've done a couple of
just Captain America movies. I mean, but yeah,
the Russos they did Infinity War and Endgame too.
Yeah, but I'm saying of the Captain America movies.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
But I loved Falcon's inclusion as well. I thought he was incredible in this. I thought Fury is another character that I think has been incredibly underutilized, and I thought that he really counted in this movie and hasn't mattered since. And it's really bothered me. This Fury and SHIELD both kind of disappear after this movie, except for Age of Ultron for the most part. And I really wish that they would have brought them back in some capacity, because they kept the Agents of SHIELD show running. I've got the first 4 seasons right there. I kept up with that show. I loved it, and they just kind of dismissed it from canon. It really pissed me off. But no, I love this movie. It's number 8 on my list.
Okay. We're going to go to Avengers Age of Ultron 20.
Skipped one.
What? You're right, I did.
Yep.
Hey, you're keeping me honest. Do you have the list in front of you too, I assume, or do you just know
I've
them by
got, yeah,
heart?
I've got my ranking, and
Okay.
I've got it seared in my memory.
Okay. All right, we have. I'm sorry, Guardians of the Galaxy. How could I forget? It's very high up on my list, so I would have been very sad to not talk about my number 2 movie in the MCU. Number
Ooh,
2, baby. And James Gunn, I
nice.
trust, although he did kind of let me down with Superman. Still enjoyed the movie, but
Yeah,
Superman's nothing compared to the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. One of my favorite trilogies of all time. Probably in my out of all the trilogies, I say it's probably number 4 or 5 on a list of trilogies. It's just that consistently good, and it all really starts with the first film. You want to talk about, you have stellar casting throughout the MCU with Robert Downey Jr., Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth. There's so many Chris's. Guardians of the Galaxy cast like 4 of them right out of the gates. You have Chris Pratt, again, another freaking Chris. You
Yep.
have Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon. You got Gamora. What's her name? Zoe Saldana. She's in like
Yep.
4 of the highest grossing movies of all time. She's actually one of the highest paid actors of all time. No, I'm sorry. Is she? I think she is the highest paid actress of all time. Like after ScarJo.
No, Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson's the highest paid actor.
Yeah,
in
but that's
Hollywood,
going to change as soon as the next
supposedly.
Avatar
or
movie
she's made
comes
the
up.
most or something. I don't know.
That's going to change when the next 4 Avatar movies get released. But regardless, this is a movie that just perfectly cast every single person. Drax is great in this. The way these characters all interact with their different quirks and their different characteristics really makes for an entertaining movie. And as much as I loved how the Avengers all work together in that downtown battle, that's like permeated throughout most of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And not necessarily because they're working together as much as they're all just trying to get shit done. And that's the best way to accomplish their goal. Freaking love this film. The only thing to keep it from perfection is kind of like with Thor 2, unfortunately, Ronan is an incredibly lame character. Although around Ronan, you got some interesting stuff. You got Gamora's sister in here who's really cool. You got Thanos making his first real appearance. I think he might have been teased.
For me.
Yeah, he was teased in the Avengers, but this is like the first big time we get to see him, voiced by Josh Brolin. Just all around a stellar movie from front to back. I also love the visuals. I love the comedy. James Gunn really just gets how to make these weird, quirky characters work. Number 2.
Yeah. This is where James Gunn excels with superhero cinema. When he's got this motley crew of idiots that he can basically make you care about, because not under no circumstances should characters like these be able to be a superhero team, and yet they work so well together. There is a pretty significant power balance between them too. It's not like the 2016 Suicide Squad where a couple of guys with guns, a chick with a bat, and
Let's give a shout out to this guy because we're gonna kick him out. This guy's a douche.
All right.
Let's keep it nice in the comments. You can disagree, but you don't have to be an idiot.
But like, these people, like Drax is freaking strong. He's powerful. Groot is like even more so, and Gamora is also very, very strong.
I forgot about Groot. I apologize. Vin Diesel, the greatest performance from anyone. Vin Diesel in this. God, that guy's making so much money for the least amount of work ever.
I am Groot is all he had to say. They cast freaking Diesel for that. I can't. Yeah, but no. This was the. Oh my gosh, I think this is the first thing I saw Chris Pratt in aside from the Lego movie. So
you never watched Parks and Rec?
No, I haven't.
Oh, great show. Great show.
Well, I didn't watch it when it was on because I was like too young for it or whatever. When did it run? I don't even know, honestly. I wasn't into that kind of those kinds of shows yet. But I still, I hadn't seen anything else with him, and then all of a sudden he was in freaking everything, kind of like Pedro Pascal now. But no,
Chris Pratt's
great.
Like genuinely a really good actor, though. I was happy he got his glow up because Parks and Recreation, he was funny as shit. So you should definitely give it a watch.
I've seen clips. Yeah. But I really dug this one. Ronan, like you said, not the best villain, but Lee Pace was physically imposing and did a decent enough job, I think, for what he was given. And I also love Michael Rooker as Yondu. He was great.
Oh yeah, that's the other
and
thing
the soundtrack.
too.
Soundtrack was top tier.
Oh, soundtrack, James Gunn, they go hand in hand. But to your point about how did you just say Yondu? Your point is solid. It's not just Ronan. There are like 8 different threats in this movie, so there's like several different villains that the Guardians are going up against. It's not necessarily that Ronan needed to be that imposing. He's just one final chapter in this like crazy.
I mean, like
saga.
Physically imposing, right?
Yeah,
like, he's like 6'5", and standing next to Batista, he still looks like a threat.
Yeah, well, he's
Batista
got that cool ass,
super roided up.
yeah, that cool ass hammer. I mean, come on.
Yeah, yep. And I love that. What's her face? Karen Gillan actually shaved her head for this movie, and then she never did again for
She's like, why the hell did I do this? I didn't know it was gonna be
she showed up to Comic-Con. She showed up to Comic-Con with a wig, and nobody knew it was a wig, and then she pulled it off, and then everyone lost their minds, and then she just like never did that again.
Well, yeah, she's like, I'm gonna have to play Nebula in like 8 more movies. I didn't realize that at the time. It's probably like Rebecca Romaine Stamos, or not Stamos anymore, but you know what I mean. She was in like makeup for 6 to 8 hours for Mystique in the first film. Yeah. I'm sure she's like, oh, Jennifer Lawrence can just be like, yeah, do it in post. Thanks. I've been doing this every fucking day for months.
Rebecca Romaine Mystique in X-Men 1 versus Jennifer Lawrence Mystique in Dark Phoenix is night and day.
It's really horrible. Yeah. The Jennifer Lawrence makeup was just atrocious.
Yeah.
All right, now
did I say where this was?
No, you didn't. You did not say.
Number 9, right underneath Winter Soldier.
Okay.
And again, it's not because it's a bad movie. It's because there's more. There's others that I love that much more. This is a 5 out of 5 movie. I will say 9 out of 10 of my top 10 are 5 out of 5 movies in my opinion.
Fair, very fair. Let's go to the next one, and you'll keep me honest so I don't miss it. But I have Avengers. Age of Ultron.
Correct.
Let me get it up here. Let me change it.
I remember the hype leading up to this.
Do you want to start, or do you want I to start?
I can start.
You're on mute. Why are you on mute?
What?
Did you mute yourself?
No. Can you hear me?
Michael?
Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you. This happened before where it was muted for me, but it wasn't muted for the audience. So, although it shows that you're muted. Can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute themselves. No muting. Audio's all right here. Why does it show that it's muted for me?
How about now?
Okay, now you're unmuted on my end, but I still can't hear you. Okay,
not muted for the
this has happened before on the channel when I've had someone on. I don't know why. Doesn't even matter how hard
Al Davis says mime.
So Michael, what we're gonna do is I'm going to bail on my own stream. You're gonna stay on, and then I'm gonna come back in. Okay. Okay. Goodbye.
Okay.
Godspeed.
So now that he's gone, we can all rip him a new one. Anyway, no. I'll just start talking, I guess, about Age of Ultron. So Age of Ultron, I remember the hype leading up to this movie. It was one of the most excited moments in terms of like a movie going experience that I've ever had. I remember leading up to it. I think Infinity War and Endgame topped it for sure. But welcome to Michael Does Movies. Yes, I am the new host. So yeah, I remember the first trailer for this film. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Thanks, we all just Firefox.
We all just took turns talking about how terrible your takes are.
You and the books behind you, or your collectibles? It's not going to be anybody in my community. I can tell you that. All right. What did you say? What were you talking about? Avengers.
The gang's all here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Age of Ultron, I remember the hype leading up to the film. I remember when that first teaser trailer came out, and to this day, I think it is one of the best trailers ever cut. Of course, it makes the film seem like it's going to be a much darker film than what we actually got, which was, a typical Joss Whedon humor. Not as good as the first one. Probably my least favorite of the Avengers movies. It is my least favorite of the Avengers movies, but I still do really like it.
Yeah.
I loved Scarlet Witch ever since this film. I mean, Elizabeth Olsen is my favorite actress. So naturally,
you love the Scarlet Witch or whatever her accent is in this movie.
The accent, I will never forget the first time I saw a trailer where they had accents, and I was very confused because I'm like, what? Okay, that's whatever. But so yeah, because they did the whole Sokovian thing because they're Magneto's kids in the comics. But they didn't have the X-Men, so they couldn't do that. So they made them enhanced, is what they called it, and I don't know, but I really liked her character moving forward. I like that they gave Hawkeye a little bit more time to shine. Trying to think, the Hulk and Natasha relationship was really weird. I never liked that. I understand why they were trying to do it, but it did not turn out good. I liked Hulk when he was actually Hulk. Like when he was Savage Hulk, and the Hulk Buster fight was really good. I like that whole thing. Originally, Joss Whedon wanted to have him go Gray Hulk, which would have been cool. I was really hoping they were going to do that, but they didn't. Ultron bot fight was cool. I like the CG on those. Some of the CG in the movie in the third act didn't look as great though. It looked a little rubbery on Iron Man's Mark 45 and the Ultimate Ultron final look. But James Spader as Ultron was top tier casting.
Yeah.
Whoever wrote his dialogue, give him a freaking Oscar just for that. I mean, when the earth settles, God throws a stone at it, and believe me, he's winding up. I love that line. Something about that, just I love it.
What the fuck? I don't even remember that line, but that's hilarious.
That was after Scarlet Witch read Vision's mind. And she saw the vision that he was going to blow up the. Oh, hey, Lauren, that's my girlfriend.
Oh, hi, Lauren.
After she figured out his actual plan.
Okay.
And she's freaking out, and he was trying to justify it by saying that. But no, this is a good movie. Not perfect. I liked it though. 4 out of 5, and on my ranking, 16.
16. I have a little higher than you do, actually.
Really?
I have it at number 12. I kind of eat this movie up. I like how fucking nerdy and goofy it gets at times. I like how colorful and poppy the colors are. I mean, I was in on this. Even the only thing that was stupid was the Thor side quest that they put him on to basically set up the Infinity Stones or whatever nonsense that was, where he takes like a little hot tub bath with them. Otherwise,
I have a story about that, but continue.
This movie was epic as crap. They took everything that worked with the Avengers, and I felt like they magnified it. Things got bigger, louder. You got Black Widow dropping out of the jet on the bike, picking up the shield, tossing it. The Quinjet's great. They redid kind of the circle shot again, but this time they're fighting off the robots in the room, and they even have that jumping pose at the beginning where they fight out in the woods. There's so many cool moments in the film, and there's like the little banter, the smaller scenes that Whedon knows work really well. You have the iconic moment where they try to pick up Thor's hammer. Captain America makes it buzz just a little bit. A little taste of what's to come in the future, I suppose. You got Hawkeye, who was kind of an MVP in this movie because of some of his smaller moments in the film, some of the conversations he has about being just like a regular dude that shoots arrows. I dug it. I think Whedon really knows how to do these ensemble pictures and how to give people time to have the spotlight. And I don't really have any notes for this one other than to say it gets a little bloated and it's maybe a little longer than it needs to be. But those are minor quibbles or quabbles. It's a number 12. Number 12 for me.
Nice. Yeah, the whole thing with Thor in the cave, that was supposed to be like a lot more extensive, I think. I can't remember. I think that Joss Whedon, there was some squabble about either Whedon or Marvel wanted that.
You're right. I remember hearing about that too.
And there was one of them wouldn't get something else if they didn't put. I think it was Marvel wanted that cave, but Whedon wanted some other scene, and they said, "Well, you're not getting that scene without the cave sequence," or the roles were reversed, one or the other. But yeah,
we need to have Chris Hemsworth shirtless in a tub. He needs to be in some sort of a bath water, in something, a babbling brook.
In the first trailer, there's a shot from that scene that doesn't have Thor or Selvig. It is a presumably a Wakandan woman entering the bath or whatever it is. And so there was a lot from that whole thing that they clipped out, and I would have been interested to see. And I also thought it was interesting how, again, much like Iron Man 2, this film is kind of bogged down from setting up a lot to come, because
it does.
They set up they're setting up Civil War with the butting heads between Tony and Cap, and then there's setting up the Infinity Stones, setting up the basically Ragnarok, which was far more different tonally than what we got. And
it also leaves some breadcrumbs here and there, just sprinkles for people to see characters that will show up down the road. You have, what is his name? Iron Claw or something? The Claw.
Ulysses, Claw.
Andy Serkis. He's in this.
Fish. Boom, boom.
Yeah, no, it's a very fun movie. That's how I would categorize it. A very, very fun, good time.
Yep.
Okay.
I like it too.
We have
a lot left.
Okay, Michael, we're gonna go faster. Okay, we're both gonna move faster. Must go faster, and that should be easy because the next one I have very little to say because there's just not much to say about it. Ant-Man. We have Ant-Man. We got a little. Yeah, that wasn't an intentional pun, but I usually try to do those when I'm.
The best puns are the ones that aren't intentional.
That's what they say. It's the little things that get us by. Okay, that one was intentional. You're right. That didn't land near as good. We have Paul Rudd bringing the comedy, bringing the jokes.
Or Edgar Wright. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, Edgar Wright started it, but it was Edgar wrong, I guess, for the project. So he had to go. That was an intentional pun again. This one was incredibly mediocre. Not bad. I would just put it in the kind of, it's watchable, but we are starting to get formulaic at this point already. It's starting to feel stale. You get the formula. We get a bad guy who, I know by the end of this movie, he's also going to have a super suit. We're going to do the same thing we did in Iron Man 1. It's not bad. It's just kind of mediocre. And it's a bummer, too, because you can definitely see the vision that Edgar Wright had for this movie. This is a guy that makes incredibly creative films. I mean, you got Scott Pilgrim versus the World. You got, Shaun of the Dead. You have so many,
Last Night in Soho.
And it just kind of got, this is the first movie that really felt like Kevin or Marvel execs got involved and felt like they needed to have more say in the project because everything has to be connected now. And so for me, this one falls to 27 on my list.
Yeah, I've got it at 23, so about the same range. This one's it's fine. I don't hate it. It's my favorite of the tilt shift.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Tilt shift is exactly what I was talking about. Thank you.
Easily my favorite of the Ant-Man movies, but that's not really saying much. I like Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, but I will always be bitter that they made Hank Pym an old man in this franchise, and the fact that Ant-Man was literally 2 months late to being in Age of Ultron, because in the comics, Hank Pym is the one who created Ultron, not Tony Stark. That was something that always kind of bothered me. And Yellow Jacket, I'm not familiar with the Darren Cross character, if he's in the comics or to what capacity, but as I understood it, Yellow Jacket was always a persona that Hank Pym took on, because during Civil War, Hank Pym is Yellow Jacket, and he becomes a little bit more of an anti-hero. There's a lot more to that character that I'm not super well versed in, but it's not quite like they did in the movies. But yeah, it's fun. They definitely leaned into the comedy. I think this was oh, hey, Guardians of the Galaxy did well. Let's really drive it home. And Thomas the Tank Engine final battle. And yeah, Michael Pena was good, but that was another example of just like, let's just have this funny guy say funny things, and that's his character.
Where do you have it?
23.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
It's not great. Okay, let's move on. Let's go. Doctor Strange. Nope. Captain America Civil War. Man, These Captain America movies are coming out fast. Hot and fast.
Fast and Furious.
The Fast and Furious. This would be the third installment to the Captain franchise, if I'm not mistaken.
Captain America Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift, yes. Captain America Civil War, Tokyo Drift. This one would be the definition of fan service to me, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fan service has a place. I thought it was kind of sloppy how they got to that airport fight scene. Conflict seemed forced for me. And when you got a movie called Civil War, I have this at Jesus Christ. This list is garbage. No, this list is trash. Go ahead and say where you have yours, and I'm going to move mine because I don't agree with my own list.
Mine is number 10. Like I said, the Captain America trilogy.
That's where mine is.
My girlfriend just said, still oddly a favorite of mine. That's the one that she rewatches more often than any other MCU movie, but it's not even like her favorite movie, she said. Oh crap, people are saying it's lagging.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll just keep going. We'll move much faster. So you have it at 10. I agree. I'm at 10 as well.
Yeah, I like the movie. They definitely had a far more reduced plot than the comic did. There were a lot more characters in the comic, and it was over the Superhero Registration Act, not the Sokovia Accords, but they're basically kind of the same thing. In concept, at least. I like that they introduced Spider-Man here. That was great. Black Panther's introduction as well was awesome.
See, I would say the Spider-Man stuff is what felt the most forced for me. They basically just finished up that merger, and you could tell they're like, well, shit, let's ram him into this movie somehow. And it really made no sense for him to be battling against these highly skilled, highly trained characters. But Tony's like, I gotta have Spider-Man come and fight. And then, all right, you're done, kid. Go back home. Like, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Black Panther, honestly, I like his story in here more than either of the other Black Panther movies. Well, I mean, he's not even alive in one of them.
Spoiler.
But we'll talk about Black Panther when we get to it. But no, I think his arc in this film was probably one of my favorite parts of it. Yeah, like in terms of side characters, storylines. But yeah, Zemo was a great villain. He had really interesting motivations, how they contextualize him in the MCU and everything. I thought it was funny how they really tried to make him a little bit more grounded, and then Falcon Winter Soldier comes along and they're just like, okay, you can wear your mask now. You're a Baron now. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, number 10.
You 10, I'm 10. I'm not moving it. It's 10. All right.
Okay.
Let's go to
next.
You got to move on. 20 of these left. Doctor Strange. Is that right? Is that where we're at?
Yep.
Doctor Strange 2016. We're just shy of 10 years from now. Doctor Strange.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. No, this is our first appearance from the character, correct? We got Benedict Cumberbatch. Cumbersnatch. He's again, the casting is just it's impeccably good. They found a guy and they're like, all right, I want you to go like this and do a bunch of these motions, and if you sell us on it, you're in. And Cumberbatch knocked it out of the park. This was a trippy movie. It's got a little bit of that Christopher Nolan style of Inception going on with the mirror world. You're replacing Asian characters with white chicks, and you're shaving their head, and people are pissed. I'm all on board. It's just nuts. Man. Yeah, it's just nuts. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I don't think it's like amazing, but I enjoy it. So therefore, I put it at 21.
Yep.
Right in the middle a little bit.
if I rewatch it, I wonder how I feel about it. I watched it. I think the last time I watched something like that, like
Okay.
before, enjoyed this one. I used to like it a lot more, I think, than I do now, which I don't hate it by any means. I still really do enjoy it. It's currently, and yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch, excellent casting. Chiwetel Ejiofor as Baron Mordo was cool. Someone said something earlier that I just wanted to mention. Yeah, this Al Davis. He said he reminded me of Tony's parents' scene in Civil War. That moment was great and a very good plot twist that I did not see coming. Okay, we're done with Civil War. Doctor Strange. I love that they had Mads Mikkelsen in here. I hate that they wasted him on Caecilius and didn't cast him as Doctor Doom. He would have been a great Doctor Doom.
Yeah, sure.
But no, this movie's cool. Visuals are insane. They are an acid trip and a half. Like I was genuinely blown away by Scott Derrickson's direction, his vision for this movie. So
it's like a kaleidoscope. It's wild.
Yeah. And Inception, like you were saying, very Inception-esque. Yeah, really like this one. 15.
Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Volume Dose.
Oh, super chat.
Yeah, I don't usually get them on the collab streams. It's typically just on my Tuesday night Q&A ones where they come out to... Fuck? What was that?
that was
something moved and made noise behind me. I don't know.
That was Matthew McConaughey from Interstellar pushing something out from the bookshelf.
Matthew, are you there?
No.
I guess since we have a lone gunman here, we'll read it quick. Draven called for $5. Adam, use this $5 to rent Todd Phillips' School for Scoundrels. Wild, forgotten comedy with Billy Bob Thornton and John Heder. Remember him? Yeah, that was the Napoleon Dynamite dude. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Draven. I appreciate that.
I might throw that on the
yeah, super chats are welcome. I typically don't even promote it for the combo streams because I try to keep the guests moving along. But they're appreciated regardless. Okay, we are going to go to
Guardians 2.
Guardians 2. I think I copied it to paste it very quickly. Yep. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I love this movie. It's kind of, I think a lot of people consider it the worst. It's maybe my favorite. I don't know. Where did I put it on my list? It looks like I have it at my second favorite. It's the number 3 in my overall list. So I have Guardians of the Galaxy 2 at Guardians of the Galaxy at number 2. I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 at number 3. They're back to back because I love this trilogy and I love this movie. Yes, the negative, some of the drama is undercut by jokes. That's fair.
A lot of it is.
That's fair.
A lot of it is.
That's fair. However, I still get the drama out of it, even if the jokes kind of ruin some of the punchlines. And the ones that really matter most to me hit, like that final shot of Rocket looking off at the fireworks. He's kind of like the secret main character, I believe, of this entire franchise. And James Gunn kind of proves it with the last shot of the movie, focusing on Rocket. Yondu's relationship really blossoms in this one. He's got some funny moments and some dramatic moments that work. Pratt really comes into his own in the second film, I thought. Zoe Saldana is a smoke show. Her stuff with her sister is great. The whole movie is just a wild, trippy, colorful experience from beginning to end where you jump to all these different planets. I thought the villain was great. Kurt Russell de-aged, or I guess just makeup to shit and back, looked really cool. I really don't have any issues with this movie. It's funny. It's funny as hell. And that opener from any of these superhero movies, full stop. The dancing baby Groot while they're fighting that battery-eating creature it's awesome.
With Mr. Blue Sky playing,
Mr. Blue Sky, a little ELO in the background.
Yep. You said this is number 3. Well, I will sing this movie's praises as well, but I have it at number 11.
Sure.
Again, there's other movies I love more, but this is without a doubt, this film has the best soundtrack of any movie in existence. I listened to this so much in high school and still do to this day. I love every song on this playlist. I thought they utilized it brilliantly in the film. Ego's planet has some of the best visual effects in the entire MCU. I thought they made it brilliant in terms of how they just the color palette and the composition and blending the green screen and everything with the actual on camera actors. This movie's awesome. I really do love it. I do think, like you said, there's a lot of moments where they're undercutting some heavier sequences with characters just laughing their lungs out. I kind of got sick of the whole Taserface joke.
I was just gonna say, we got to talk about Taserface, the unsung hero of the film. He's great.
It was funny the first time or whatever when Rocket was laughing at him or whatever, but then when he's just like when he sends the coordinates to the Sovereign, he's like, let them know of the person who brought them down. His name was Taserface, and then the chick just gives like the fakest laugh I've ever heard in my entire life.
The Sovereign was such a fun race of people, though. Their stupid golden features, and plus that scene on the ship it's such a cool action scene where Yondu's just whipping his little laser pointer thing around and killing people left and right. Okay, so what did you put? You had it 11, you said?
11. Yep.
All right.
Just outside top 10.
Just outside of it.
It's a very good movie. I love the Guardians movies.
This one I'm curious about your thoughts. I think we're going to be similar where we put this one. But we got Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, yeah.
Kicking off a brand new third live-action Spider-Man after Tom Holland. I'm sorry, he is Tom Holland. After Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, we get Tom Holland. Kind of a good mix of both, but I don't think he's my favorite of either. I think he's a good Spider-Man and a good Peter Parker. He's not a great Peter Parker, a great Spider-Man. Just my thoughts. I think Andrew Garfield's the best Spider-Man, and I think Tobey's the best Peter Parker. I think Tom Holland's just really solid at both.
That is the argument I've heard on the internet. I don't know how many times for the past several years.
I started that argument. Peter Parker. I started I am the argument. I started it all. Okay. Believe me. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I think this is a very fun movie. A coming of age story, has a Ferris Bueller's-esque kind of a vibe to it. It takes place a lot of the time at school, kids being kids, fun little like MCU references without shoving it down our throat. Like the Captain America training video in the gym was really funny. Tony Stark gets to play dad in this movie, keeping tabs on Spider-Man. I think this is the best of the Spider-Man trilogy. And I know that's going to be a hot take because people love that third one. But this one to me felt like the most earned, natural Spider-Man. The rest of them get too robotic, where his powers seem completely arbitrary because the suit is doing so much. And even in this one, the suit does a shit ton. But I digress.
Yeah,
I have it at... Actually, why don't you go ahead and I'll tell you where I have it in after.
Okay. Yeah, not my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Oh, interesting.
Not even my favorite Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, but I still enjoy it. I do like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I wish that, because here's the thing. This is a decent movie. It's not the best. It's just not a great Spider-Man movie. The best moment in the movie for me is when he's stuck under the rubble in the third act. And he is just like crying for help. And then he looks and sees his mask in the puddle, and it's like showing half his face reflected in the puddle and half is the mask. And it gives you kind of like that Spidey sense thing from the comics. And he hears the echoes, or the words echo, if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. And then he immediately just summons the strength to lift the structure off himself. That was excellent. That was the best moment in that movie for me.
The best moment for me that spoke to me as Spider-Man was a random passerby saying, "Hey, Spider-Man, do a flip." He does a flip. That was Spider-Man to me. Like, I like that.
The dude from Dylan from Severance.
Is that who that was?
That was him.
Cool. Nice.
Yep. So yeah, that was Vulture was a great villain. Keaton did an incredible job. Al Davis said something about the twist in the chat. I completely agree. That was a jaw-dropping moment when he opens the door to show up to pick up his date, and he freaking Vulture answers the door.
Because Michael, notoriously racist, is like, wait, how could her daughter be? wait, she's black. How could he be white? That doesn't make sense. Meanwhile, people over here like me, progressive people, were like, yeah, he can be. I know, Michael. I know, it's okay. It happens, but no, it wasn't a twist. I saw it
I'm
coming.
waiting for a. I was waiting for a. You need to do better, Michael.
Do better. I would kick you off again, but I'm afraid that you won't return because someone's in.
I accept responsibility.
Okay.
The other thing too is, so I've got it right here on my shelf.
Please.
It is a clunker, and it is nowhere near the same size as a normal Blu-ray, so it just sticks out awkwardly.
Oh my god!
Because I had to be stupid when I was 17 and buy the Target exclusive jumbo pack or whatever this was. Yeah. Anyway,
how very stupid of you as I look over and see a bundle of HD DVD movies. Terrible.
Picked the wrong side.
Yeah, I picked the wrong side. That was my Civil War.
Yep. But
all right, where do you have this?
Homecoming's fine. Not amazing though. 22.
Wow, you are quite a bit lower.
In between Iron Man 2 and Ant-Man.
Yeah, you are quite a bit lower than me, sir.
But of the Marvel movies, I've given a 3.5 out of 5. It is second place, if that says anything. I just love the Tobey trilogy better. That's just where I'm at. I grew up with those.
I do too, but that's not what we're talking about. I have it at 11. I have it at 11. But I already see 2 movies that are better than it on my list because my list is dog shit. So really, I would probably put it more at like a 13. But in either case, it's outside of the top 10, so I'm okay with it being there. Yeah. I enjoy it quite a bit. Very fun. Very, very Spider-Man for me. Let's move on. We have... Oh, okay. Now we're getting serious. Now we are getting to cinema, everyone. Thor Ragnarok. And a little fun fact, I brought it up on my last live stream. I'm currently playing God of War Ragnarok, a game I purchased when it came out. And then I played about an hour of it, and I said, this seems like too big of a game. I don't have time for this shit. Probably 75% in, I think. I've met Odin. I know the whole Loki giant lore. I mean, this game is fucking incredible. And all I'm thinking is, Mike, why did I wait so long to play this? It's been sitting on my system for so long. This is one of the best stories. Game. This is one of the best stories I've played through and heard in so long. But anyway, I digress. This Ragnarok, not quite the same, not quite as maybe massive in scale, but holy shit, did I have a great time with this film. I've watched it so many times. I love the direction they went with the characters. I have a blast with it. The use of Immigrant Song might be the best use of a song in the MCU, just full stop. It just hits every time I hear it. It became kind of Thor's like unofficial song, I thought, after that point. And when he shows up in Infinity War and they don't play it, I was massively disappointed.
I saw a video where someone cut it together where they did play that song when you bring me Thanos.
I just don't know how they didn't play it there. It was just perfect.
Because the Avengers theme swells and it sounded awesome.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And it would have been in there for like 15 seconds.
I have this movie very high. It's at number 5 on my list, mainly because it wasn't 5. It's in my top 5. Not only was this film a huge glow up for the character and such a course correction for that piss poor mediocre Thor 2 that you love so much, but it also like reinvigorated so much of the MCU that was getting stale. So much to a point that it kind of also ruined the MCU for a while going forward, because every movie afterwards was like, we need to be like Thor Ragnarok and the Guardians of the Galaxy. So Ant-Man's going to be like it now. And, this movie's going to be like it now. It did kind of like ruin the course. But for Thor, I thought it was just an awesome entry. You have the Hulk in there again, and he's still very much, he's a presence in this one again. After kind of being sidestepped for a while, I thought he was handled well. Love their battle. Everything worked. A lot of comedy. And there was still some drama, though. There was still some emotion, and I appreciate it. Let's hear your take.
So I agree with you when you said that it ruined the MCU.
Here we go.
Thor Ragnarok is a film that I absolutely vehemently despise. Just flat out.
Oh, that's good stuff.
It is on my list, it is 35.
What?
Dude, I'm sorry, but I just don't like this movie at all.
Wow. Go on.
So, okay. Keep this in mind though. When this film was announced, I'm also thinking like, okay, this is going to be like dark because Thor Ragnarok, it's adapting 2 stories in the comics. The first one is Ragnarok, which is a very dark, literally the apocalypse of Asgard. Sure. And the other one that it threw in there, which they originally weren't going to until they just decided that Planet Hulk, last of the whole thing. And the concept was the superheroes on Earth decided the Hulk was too much of a threat, that they sent him off to a planet where he wouldn't be a threat, and he accidentally wound up on Sakaar and was out. And if you don't have time to read the comic, I highly recommend. I just got to say, like, there are cool moments in Ragnarok, like you said, Immigrant Song. Anytime that played, the opening fight against Surtur's minions, where he's whipping the hammer around, and there's that one shot where it focuses on the hammer as it clicks through all the enemies and kills them. That was great. I love that. I love when he summons the lightning and at the very end and just goes full on God mode. That was really, really cool. Kate Blanchett is having a lot of fun as Hela, but I really just, I'm sorry. Her motivation is paper thin. I'm the goddess of death. I kill. I do that.
Wasn't she locked? She was locked away for like eons, correct?
Yeah.
She was cast asunder by her father, so she's a little bitter
about that
whole thing.
Odin locked her in. Odin made her the goddess of death and wanted her to kill people, and then decided he didn't want her to kill people, so he locked her away. And then she comes back and she starts killing people.
I feel like that's a perfectly fine motivation if you're raised on killing people and your dad's like, actually, that was kind of a bad idea. Like, it's already ingrained into her. So she's just kind of a shit person who thinks that ruling over all is the right thing to do. It happens. There's people like that. Regardless, it sounds like you hate the movie mainly because it doesn't fulfill what the comics and the stuff you're familiar with do. And that's a completely fair. That's a completely fair thing to say.
It also killed off all the characters from the Thor movies. I didn't care for that because I actually like them, which I know probably most people don't care. And also it turned Hulk into a joke. It turned Thor from the God of Thunder to a thundering buffoon. And I genuinely just don't like Taika Waititi as a filmmaker. He's made one good movie, that was Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit's great. Everything else has been garbage.
I don't think they turned him into a buffoon in this one. That's what Thor, right? That's what Thor: Love and Thunder does more than anything. I still found him to be a credible,
for sure,
formidable character in this one, who definitely has some badass moments. He's just a lot more humorous, but the movie in general is just a lot more fun. It was an interesting direction. I get why you don't like it. I thought it was a well-needed change from kind of the slog that we had before that. And it really played to Hemsworth's strengths, for better and worse, I suppose. All right.
Yeah.
I have it at 5. I'm happy with it. You have it low. We'll see what you thought was better.
That's probably my most divisive take on this list, I will say. But I think the other thing, too, is just because of how well beloved it is and how often I'm told that I'm wrong for thinking that. I'm just like, well, now I hate it even more.
Yeah.
I try not to be that petty, but honestly, I every time I rewatch it, I'm just not.
I'm looking at this list and I'm kind of blown away by some of the movies you're putting above this movie. I'm just going to imagine it's because you've read the comics, so you were expecting some huge grand thing.
That is the biggest reason. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next one. I was ready for. We have Black Panther. The Oscar-winning Black Panther, the greatest movie. No, it was nominated. I don't think it won, but it was, or maybe it won some. Did it win some best costume?
It won score. It won one other thing.
Best original score, best costume design, best production, sound mixing. These are nominations. I don't actually know these. That says awards. It was up for Best Picture, which is just hilarious because it's not Best Picture material. I will say I did a deep dive on this for Screen Rant when I freelanced over there. Did a big documentary thing on this, and the amount of care, love, and craftsmanship put into this movie, besides the rushed ending in that fight by Weta Digital, it's pretty surreal stuff, and it really does. This feels like its own huge world inside the MCU. So I give it a lot of credit for building up this like whole new set of this new race of people, this new lore, and really going in with some of the social commentary. This movie has more layer to it than mostly everything else in the MCU, probably anything else in the MCU, honestly. It has a great villain, top 5 villain in the MCU for sure, with Killmonger. I really like T'Challa in this. He's a great character. It's really sad what happened to Chadwick Boseman, and yeah, I mean it's truly just sad because the guy had a huge career ahead of him, and it was cut very short. But the movie in general is pretty consistently great. There is some inconsistency with the effects again later on, but overall, I'm a big fan of this one. I put it at, where did I put it? I think it's in the middle somewhere. I have it at number 14.
Okay. This was one that I've always fluctuated on, but I don't hate it.
You're gonna bring it. Here's my Black Panther novel. Let me tell you why this movie's fucking garbage.
No. I liked how they crafted Wakanda. I thought they gave it a really cool visual style. I liked all the I don't know. Sometimes the vibranium becomes a little too plot convenient. Like when a little wristwatch or wrist beads can save a person from paralysis. But overall, I didn't have a problem with it. It's visually, and I want to criticize the visuals, but at the same time, they didn't have the time to get it done. What could it have been had they been given a better window? Because Weta Digital can do some. Really
it's some gorgeous moments earlier when that whole casino fight with Nominal.
When he pops off of the
really damn good.
I love the shot because it reminded me just how strong Black Panther is. Yeah. I love the shot when he's hanging off the car and he sticks his claws in the tire and the wheel was great.
That was great. It's number 32. Where do you have it? Whatever.
Yeah. Not as big of a fan of Killmonger as a villain as everyone else. That's
what makes him interesting.
I understand that argument, but then he said he has the right before he fights T'Challa, he says something about like his scars and how each one of them is for a kill. Afghanistan, Iraq, even my own brothers and sisters on this continent. And it's like stop the oppression of Black people in the world. Why are you killing them?
Is the ones that are part of the system. He is the villain. Maybe. I mean, he is the villain.
Then again, he never specified if that was mercenary work or if that was when he was special forces for the government. So,
right.
I
guess part of the machine, and he's fighting against it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. There's other villains I like more, I guess.
No, that's fine. You're racist. You hate it. Okay, let's move on.
We're going back to this argument.
Yeah, it's fine. I understand. Okay, we have Avengers: Infinity War, a movie universally hated, more than Black Panther even. This movie, I'm not going to beat around the dick. This is my favorite movie of the MCU. I think everything kind of culminates to a head here perfectly. A lot of people say Endgame is the best. They're wrong. Infinity War sets such a dark tone. Michael's been yearning for a movie in the MCU to go dark, to have some stakes. This is it. Holy shit. We wipe out pretty much everything from Thor Ragnarok. So you were probably cheering your ass up like, yes, kill it all. Kill this terrible movie. The only people that lived on that whole ship is what? Thor? He's like the only survivor. Even Loki gets killed off. It's crazy.
Korg and Meek, I guess, survived.
Yeah, I suppose.
But they're not shown. Yeah. No. Hulk made it.
Yeah, there's some real stakes in this movie though, and there's a lot of death. In fact, half of the population of the universe dies by the end of this film. Thanos is such a great villain here. Josh Brolin provides an awesome baritone voice. He's got some great one. This guy's just a catchphrase machine,
The hardest
basically.
choices require the strongest wills.
I still am bitter and jaded that they cut one of my favorite lines out of the trailer. I'm going to paraphrase because I can't remember, but he's like, one does not, do you know what I'm talking about? Where he's like, one does not have fun while balancing the universe, but it's something like that.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe, but this does put a smile on my face.
This puts a smile on my face.
Yeah, they didn't put that in the movie.
It's a bummer. What did it cost you? Everything. I still quote that with my kids. What did it cost? Everything. The first third, I actually about the first half of this movie is just grim, dire shit. I think my fingers were like embedded into the seat at the theater because I'm like, oh my God, everybody's dying. What's going on? I love the shit out of this movie. It's very rewatchable. So many characters coming together for the first time to meet. You get fun little camaraderie from people you don't expect, like Thor becoming part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then instantly they deployment. But they planted the seed here. It gets compared to Empire a lot, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and for good reason, because at the end of this, they're eventually going to, because it's a superhero fun pulpy thing. They should. That's fun at the end of the day. But the fact that they allow them to break in such a brutal fashion and then just end the movie on the most somber, depressing of notes, where half of your favorite characters are just evaporating into the night, into the ether, was powerful stuff. And I really appreciate the movie for it.
Yeah, this is my number 3. I have never, well, aside from Endgame, I have never gone into a movie with so much just pure anxiety as to what was going to happen. Ever since Age of Ultron, I remember thinking, like, Age of Ultron and any movie featuring Captain America onward, I was thinking that Captain America would die, because Age of Ultron had that broken shield tease, and then Civil War, the comic ends with not the main comic, but there's a follow-up after Civil War where Captain America dies in the comics. So I thought that Civil War he would die, and then he didn't. And then Infinity War, he's all disheveled, he's got a beard, he's long hair. I'm like, oh, he's totally gonna bite it. And then he doesn't, and I'm like, what? Like, so I was totally thinking that he was gonna there was gonna be a lot of casualties in the film. I love Thor in this movie more than I do in any of the other MCU. I mean, aside from maybe I don't know. There's an argument to be made for the first Thor or Avengers, but I think Thor's at his peak in this film. Just because he's combining what worked about him when they modernized him in Ragnarok without being so overly goofy. Like, he's still got a little bit more of that charm that he's acquired, but he's also just got that Shakespearean that, will you join me on my quest in Italy? Like, he's back to being Thor.
Sure.
And I really enjoyed that. I did think it was funny how all of Ragnarok was basically like, oh, you don't need a hammer, you've got the power within you. And then the first thing he does when Thanos shows up is, I need to get a new hammer.
Oh, there's plenty of inconsistencies between movies. They did what they could, but they don't hit them all. I mean, James Gunn notoriously wasn't happy with the Russo brothers for killing off Gamora, because that ruined his third movie. He had to totally change that.
He originally was wanting to kill Gamora off in Guardians 2, I heard.
Well, he didn't. Yeah, because he had plans with her in the third movie, and then those got changed, obviously, when he wasn't informed ahead of time. You said it was 3 on your list?
Yes, I love this movie. I can rewatch it endlessly.
It's amazing that you have one of the highest of highs here, because we're going to have 2 movies in a row that are essentially going to be propped up by the fumes left after this film, because neither of them are very good. I wouldn't say they're outright awful, but my God, they are just the most generic shit ever. And we're starting with Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
We go from Infinity War to Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is the next one after that movie. Pretty wild that that's where they went next.
Yeah.
I don't know what the thought process was here. over at the studio.
Money was the thought process.
Like really, Ant-Man and the Wasp, that's the moneymaker? Did Ant-Man do that huge of numbers that they're like, all right, after Infinity War, we hit him with it, Ant-Man and the Wasp, not Spider-Man, not, we don't keep this thing going. But it worked.
So Thor Ragnarok is one that I didn't like outright hate when I left the theater, but as time went on, I just grew to despise it more and more. Ant-Man and the Wasp, the second I left that theater, I'm just like, this was awful. Why did we do this? I genuinely remember leaving the theater thinking that was freaking ridiculous. And what really did it for me was at the very end when they get Michelle Pfeiffer out of the quantum realm and stabilize her so she's not phasing constantly, and Michelle Pfeiffer takes one look at her and goes, "Oh, I know what to do." Okay, so stupid. Yeah, I got no love for that movie. It is my number 36.
Wow, you're really low on this one. Is that above or below Thor Ragnarok?
That is below Ragnarok.
Okay, so one of the
and honestly, my bottom movies, a lot of them, 2 of them I've only seen once, and I honestly wonder if rewatching them would make me lower them even more and change around the order. But again, the
list gets lower than 37. It actually gets down to like 50 something. You just leave a lot of numbers in between.
Yeah, because if we did the shows, this would be a different animal.
I have this pretty low too. Number 29, Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's just so nothing. It's just nothing. I don't know why it exists either, outside of just making some money off the characters. Wasp is cute. She's fine. There's like 2
the
scenes.
GOG was wasted in it.
There's like 2 action scenes in the whole film, if I recall. One of them is all right. It's in the kitchen where Wasp is like running on the side of a knife.
That was cool.
That's pretty sweet. Like Ant-Man is another one of those movies, and this is where it starts to go down the whole we're going to focus now on getting more women into the MCU because the guys are clearly always going to show up. So let's start propping up the female characters, because if you have great, strong females, then females want to see that, right? That's what that means, right? So we have to do it at the
your problem is women. You're sexist.
Yes,
we
of
get
course.
It. We get it.
No. Well, this isn't my words. This is the studio words. They think that in their infinite wisdom, the best way to get women out to the theaters is to not have a shirtless Chris Hemsworth. It's to make the heroes kind of idiots or second place to the new female characters. So Wasp is going to be awesome. She's already better than Ant-Man at everything, and he's going to kind of be a background character for a lot of this movie.
And his suit doesn't work.
Yeah, his suit doesn't. It's pretty embarrassing. Not like, I'm still not in the awful category with these, but this movie is just so. This would be like Secret Life of Pets level of illumination. Like, it's watchable for your family in the background, but there's nothing really great going on.
Yeah.
Okay, I have next up for you another incredibly mediocre film in the MCU, as some of them call it. Because it all started. This is the one that started it all. It's interesting to call Captain America the first Avenger when he's not the first Avenger at all. So please show some respect for Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel. The most popular comic book franchise becomes a huge MCU character. We all love Captain Marvel. We all know who she is. I definitely did going into this and didn't have to look up who the fuck this character was. Funny part is I still don't really
person to take the mantle.
Funny part is I still don't really know, because she's in like several levels of and she doesn't really find out her true character until the final act. Chains are off and she's able to be her. The big problem I have with this one, I love Brie Larson, actually. I think she's an actress. If you've seen her role, and her performance is fantastic. I'd be incredibly depressed to watch it because you're just never going to get. Comics have the luxury of, hundreds of issues, or at least dozens of issues focused on one thing, like Ragnarok or the Dark Phoenix or whatever. A movie has maybe, if we're lucky, 2 movies to handle a big event. So it's just never going to. I kind of look at it more like, hey, we should be happy we even got this at all on the big screen. Hopefully they can at least do it justice a little bit. Now, most of the times they don't, but that's just where I'm at. I try to separate them. I've read a lot of like Jurassic Park and book versions of those movies, and they're not the same. They're different mediums, and I just try to focus in on what I'm getting and if I'm having a good time with it. Anyway, this movie gave me nothing. It's just such a bland film from top to bottom. There's like one cool action scene at the end where she's flying around, shredding through ships, but it's cool like a video game cutscene is cool, where you're not getting any emotion from it, because I don't even know if this woman can be killed. At least Superman, Superman has kryptonite. Like, I'm not worried about him dying in a Superman movie, except for a shitty Zack Snyder one. But I don't even know if this woman can be harmed, because she's made of energy. Like, what are they going to do? Vacuum her up and put her in like a ghost containment unit? I don't know how you hurt her, and the movie never explains it. So I'm just watching this movie going, all right, so this bitch is now going to be in the new Avengers movie out of nowhere to save the day. Not thrilled with this decision.
So you know what? It's actually, this is a full circle moment. Captain Marvel is the reason I found your channel.
Oh, wow.
The first video of yours I ever saw was the Captain Marvel, the cringe. And I thought that was freaking hilarious, dude. Like, that was...
Nerd alert!
Loved your little rant
I think it's great. I love it. I think it's great.
I saw this little girl. She was holding a soda and a hot dog in her hand. I'm like, wow, girls really can do anything now that this movie's out. And then a little boy walked in, and I said, get the f out of this theater.
Oh, I miss the cringe. That was such a fun show.
I rewatched that video a few times. That was hilarious, man.
I wish people understood the cringe. So many people thought it was real. Like, what the fuck? One video, this guy's hating on the movie. The next video, he's praising it up and down. Yep. What a shill. Like, yeah, it was a character.
Ty Saban is 100% dead on. I hate how Nick Fury got his scar. Yeah.
Oh, God, it's so bad.
Last time I someone, I lost an eye. Freaking cat.
So bad.
No, this movie is right now I'm looking, I could probably rewatch to see where I really feel about it, but right now it's last place, 37. Admittedly, last time I watched it, I remember thinking, wow, this first act isn't all right cinematography, but it's the act that scorns me the most, where she just kind of, character arc is basically non-existent. Performance is so freaking wooden that whatever talent she possessed in, like, was it? And I don't care about these characters. The lore is nowhere near as fascinating as something like Guardians of the Galaxy. Cannot remember the score at all. Jude Law is probably one of the most forgettable villains in the entire MCU. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, the Nick Fury getting his scar from that was freaking stupid, and him naming the Avengers after her was even worse.
Yeah, I have it.
And Annette Bening being Marvel, I thought was awful. I don't have anything against Annette Bening, but the fact that you took Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, and turned him into just some random old lady, I'm like,
no, that was just a form that she took to be comforting. That wasn't her. That wasn't the actual form of the character.
She was, because she was, the reason she took that form was because Carol knew her in her real life when she was Dr. Wendy Lawson, and in the comics, Marvel's Earth human identity is Dr. I think it's Walter Lawson.
So this isn't the comics. This is a separate thing. Marvel is some entity that took the form of the stupid friend that she had. It doesn't matter. Who cares? I have it at 30. It's a train wreck, but there's a couple moments that I was like, okay. All right. The cat was cute. The cat was cute until it took out Agent Fury's eye.
By the way, Agent Coulson was supposed to have some subplot, I heard early on. There was supposed to be a running gag that he was a really big MC Hammer fan.
Jesus.
I'm glad they cut that out of the film.
Yeah, she crash lands into a blockbuster.
90s.
she crash lands into a blockbuster and right into our hearts, and that was the best scene in the movie because you could see like an Arnold cutout in the background and
True Lies.
and
Yep.
some movies. I was like, oh, that I like that. All right,
Yeah, I want
Avengers
to watch that movie instead.
Endgame. Captain Marvel leads, I would say, perfectly into this film. What a beautiful transition. We just learn of this character that's on the same level of power as Superman, conveniently right when we left off with Tony Stark floating in the dense, cold vacuum of space with what, Nebula or whatever the hell her name is.
Yep.
They have no way of getting home. It's a good thing they have zero power or beacon that Captain Marvel can find, yet she somehow fucking does, and she saves them. Wow. That's just good writing. Endgame is considered by many to be a great film. I'm not many, but I do enjoy this movie. I do not hate this movie. It has a lot of problems for me, and yet I still have it in my number 8 slot because the pros outweigh the dumb cons. The problem is the cons are bad in this film. And there's one for you that I'm sure everything bad about Thor Ragnarok should be manifested 10 times over for the character of Hulk, who completes his fucking arc off camera. What? They said, how is it the same writers and directors between both movies? They set up a character arc for Hulk where he's frightened for the first time in his life that he's going to lose to Thanos, so he goes into his shell. You're expecting the payoff to be he finally confronts his demon and he fights Thanos, but no, instead, he off camera together becoming Smart Hulk, because it's played for jokes, just like Thor is played for a joke as Fat Thor. There's some really bad shit with these characters. And yet, for the culmination of all these movies coming to a close, and there really is the highest of highs here together. The Wakanda portal, see Thor's hammer going into Captain America, about some of these amazing moments, kind of did die for a good amount of time, and now they're just slowly trying to build it back up in these last couple films. But yeah, a good movie with some major flaws. Overall, though, you gotta love it just for the fact that it finished things off at least on a pretty solid note.
Yeah, this is my this was like one of the biggest movies ever when I was in high school. One of the biggest deals to me. Like Infinity War, I walked in with complete dread and anxiety of what was going to happen. Again, walking in thinking, okay, Captain America's going to die.
Yeah.
When you get to that fight at the very end and Thanos starts swinging his sword and destroying his shield, I'm like, this is it. It's going to happen. And then, no, it didn't. It was all of a sudden the freaking portals open in like the coolest freaking scene ever.
Yes.
And then like my heart just absolutely sank when I see Iron Man with all the stones on his hand and snapping his fingers. And I'm like, wait, no, no. And because that was just something I hadn't considered. I always thought that
kill Mark Ruffalo, kill him.
No, I seriously, like, when that happened, I'm watching my favorite superhero ever die that I've followed for 10 something years. And it was just so perfect. It was so incredible.
And the fact that he dies saying his iconic line from the first movie,
which was a reshoot.
There wasn't a dry eye in the audience when I went, except for mine, because of course I'm an alpha male and I don't cry. But yeah, everybody else was in tears.
They reshot that. So originally he said nothing, and then originally Thanos said nothing. He just kind of gave him a look, like a knowing look, and he snapped his fingers, and then Tony snapped and took him out. But
Doctor Strange tips the hat, twinkle in his eye. That's the one. This is the one.
One of my favorite memes I saw after that movie came out was Doctor Strange watching Tony kill himself after he held up one finger, meaning just grab one Infinity Stone. And it was Michael from The Office going. So no, this movie is, it's very much flawed. I don't care. It's just one of those where
it's forgiven.
Thor should have snapped. Hulk should have come out of his cage and fought Thanos. There's so many things I wish they would have done that they didn't. But you know what? I don't freaking care. I love this movie. It is number 5 on my list.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a big deal for me.
I mean, we're close. 5 and 8, not too far off.
Yeah.
Let's get to, this is probably going to be a more polarizing one. And this is an example of how you keep the ball rolling. You don't go to Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. You go to Spider-Man because we just had an epic movie. Let's keep the good times. We have Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah.
This is the next one on the list, 2019. Oh, wait. This is a shitty movie. I don't like this one.
Neither do I. Neither do I.
I'm not a fan of this movie.
The movie's existence spoiled Endgame. Which, I mean, okay, let's be real. Did we all think that Black Panther and Spider-Man were going to stay dead? No, obviously not. But like, come on, really? Like they were never they were never explicit about when this took place. I remember seeing a clip from like there was a clip surfacing of Tom Holland was in costume on Jimmy Kimmel or something, and they asked him when this movie took place, and he just immediately runs off stage without saying anything, and it's like, okay, yeah, we know what's going on here, and Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite actors in Hollywood. He's great. Really, he as Mysterio was an interesting casting choice. I thought he was doing a decent job, but Mysterio is one of the goofiest freaking villains in the entire MCU. Tony Stark called my technology barf. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to trick everyone into thinking I'm a superhero, and then when they need me, I'm not going to be able to save them. That'll show them.
I think Ty says it perfectly. There's a lot of nothing.
Nightcrawler is excellent.
There's a lot of nothing in this movie. That's exactly how I would categorize it as well. It just, I mean, I don't care for TV shows when characters go offset. And that's what this felt like. He's far from home. He's going on a road trip. They're in Europe now. It never works for me, especially when characters go to Europe in shows and movies. It's always lamer in Europe.
In Italy.
Yeah, that's one of the weaker episodes for me too. Seinfeld goes on road a couple episodes. Those are weaker episodes when they try to track down Kramer when he goes to California. Very weak episodes. Keep them where they're familiar and where you can have some fun. Mysterio wasn't a bad character though, I will say. And that scene at the way end where Spider-Man's tripping out and he's going through all that stuff that looked, I mean, I think it was all CG for the entire portion. Yeah. That was all really excellent. For those, they
brought Steve Ditko's art to life.
That 30 seconds was really damn good. But Tony, gifting him some murder glasses that he can drop bombs on his bus. It's like, what are we doing? Okay. Why?
The other thing with that, and I never thought about this until Sean Chandler recently posted it or mentioned it in his MCU ranking video that he just posted. The idea that Tony Stark would leave that to Spider-Man makes absolutely no sense when you consider the fact that Spider-Man's a minor, but setting that aside, for 5 years, Tony was under the impression that Spider-Man was dead, and not until he shows up in front of him in the heat of battle does he know this. So are you telling me that at one point during that fight, he just hunkered down and was like, Friday, update my will to give those glasses to Peter in case I die?
Sean's an idiot, Michael. He didn't think about the fact that Tony didn't have time to update his will from 5 years ago, okay? I can poke holes all over Sean's argument here, all right? The will was set in stone. It didn't change. Happy knew it. You know it. I know it. This movie's mid at best. I have it at 25.
I have it at 28. I thought it was a very tone-deaf follow-up to to Endgame, and I also wanted a really emotional scene between Peter and Aunt May, but because Peter was dead for 5 years, and I wanted her to survive the snap and live for 5 years without him, and then have him come back and her be very apprehensive about him being Spider-Man, but we just didn't get that.
Yeah. In fact, I thought the movie was so mid, I put this one in front of it. Black Widow. a movie that a lot of people don't care for. I'm not a lot of people. Again, I cared for it. I thought it was a nice time. I
Me
thought
too.
I thought it had shades of Captain America in there. The second one, not the first one. Captain America: The Winter Soldier had a little bit of that slick spy espionage stuff going on. Everybody loves what they did to Taskmaster. Don't get me wrong. Taskmaster was great. Love the female swap. We're always fans when they do that. It's great. We love it. It's great. But outside of that, yeah, Taskmaster's such a, again,
Frankly, it's about time.
Taskmaster's it's about time. Taskmaster's such a non-starter in the movie. She's barely in it. So I don't care. And again, I don't read the comics. And even if I did, whatever. The movie's doing its own thing. Let it cook. Yeah. This is really all about man sucking at the end of the day and hating women and controlling them with the Red Room. And I'm all for it because of course, I'm a progressive woke dipshit. No, I do think story-wise, I think
Adam does woke.
It's a family film. It's got a good family dynamic between Yelena and Natasha. Yelena, don't you want a fauna? I like them both. And I think that they look really cute in their snow outfits. And that's why I have it at number 23 because of the snow outfits.
Okay.
That's my deep
Wait, 23?
Yeah.
Oh, mine's at 24. Wow, funny.
Oh, okay.
The first time I saw this movie, I liked it a lot more than I do currently, but I still really enjoy it. I think the first act of that movie, the opening alone, was amazing. It genuinely, I went with my brother and my dad even said, at the time, he was even kind of burnt out on a lot of the Marvel stuff. He was just like, I genuinely forgot I was watching a Marvel movie. It honestly felt like a Jason Bourne movie at times.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with him.
Except for that badass part at the end where she's like flying in the air and jumping off the like panels of shit falling. I love that crap. I don't care if it makes no sense. I'm in.
Stabbing the bow staff into the engine. This was fun.
Well, that was awful. But that was awful. But that was like a 2-second shot. I don't even know if it was 2 seconds. It was like 3 frames. It was awful. But no, there's some great action in this movie. I am a sucker for like a 90-pound soaking wet chick spinning, like serpentining around a guy and like spinning him around in the air. I think it's fun. It's played out now, but it was kind of at its peak with Black Widow.
Taskmaster, just to build on to what you were saying, Taskmaster, I originally wasn't as sour on the reveal the first time I saw it, but now I've just, it really, the fact that they just didn't own up to it and kind of dispatch the character in Thunderbolts just really shows how little they cared about the character. But honestly, I remembered when Loki made the mention of Dreykov's daughter in the first Avengers movie, because like I said, I've seen it how many times, my favorite movie. And so when they revealed that she was there, I'm like, oh man, this is a connection to, okay, yeah, cool. But I honestly think they should have just made it a female unnamed assassin, make a completely new character, and then make that the mystery, because if it's going to be Taskmaster, then you better do Taskmaster. But when you're putting this much emphasis on who really is in there, and then you're having them wear a male form-fitting suit only to reveal that it's some tiny little girl inside of it, functionally speaking, that makes no sense.
It's Robert Downey Jr.
It's Liam Neeson.
It's Robert Downey Jr., Dr. Doom, alternate, whatever. It just keeps going. It was me the whole time. This is the lead into Doomsday. Surprise.
Yeah. No, it was a good film. I want it to be great. I like it though. Yeah, 24 is where it is on my list.
And of course it came out, like 10 years too late for when they should have established this character's background, but whatever.
People hated on it way too much though. They hated on it way too much.
Yeah. No, it's well made. It's a well-made film with a couple minor issues. Okay, we have...
What came after that?
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yep.
That's what it is. This is where we're at. I have this one at 20, almost smack in the middle of this list, in the 20 spot. It's a movie, and it's a movie that does movie things. There is there's some sweet ass action in this film. It's got a little bit of that Jackie Chan to it, which I appreciate. I was a big fan
Yeah.
of kung fu movies back in the day, so seeing a little bit of that finally make its way into the MCU was cool. I think this movie's bloated. I think it's about a half hour too long. That we're at the point with these movies where Disney and Marvel are thinking, yeah, everything has to be Endgame levels of like fucking runtime now. So everything's got to be way over 2 hours. I don't know if it's way over, but it's definitely over 2 hours. And some of this stuff could benefit from a trimming down. It also unfortunately has Aquafina in it. But
I was just going to say your favorite actress.
She's the best. She is the best. But I will say this is the most toned down I've ever seen Aquafina in a movie, so I'm okay with her in this one.
Yeah.
The bus fight is freaking awesome.
It is.
The final battle, it's green screeny to be sure, but I do like the rings flying around. It's got some slick action. It's just a bit much. It's fine. It's a fine movie, and I like him. I like the character.
I like that Simu Liu is actually a martial artist and is doing a lot of the fight sequences himself, and it's not just a stunt double. Like he's actually putting in the work, and that was awesome. Yeah, like the fights, the bus fight, like you mentioned, or even the scaffolding fight in, I can't remember where they were. Outside of that, like that Fight Club or whatever it was, that was cool. I liked the dynamic he had with the real Mandarin. I wish he looked more like the real Mandarin with the long hair and the green robes and the, you know, like the beard and everything like from the comics. But I understand the choice to probably try to differentiate him away from the Trevor Slattery thing.
Sure.
I also wish that they could have given us the 10 rings that are supposed to be finger rings, not arm bracelets. But
here we go.
But they did make them look really cool. I'm pretty sure though each ring had a different power in the comics, if I'm not mistaken. But
are you asking me like I have a fucking answer to that?
No, I'm just spitballing here. But
I think there were actually penis rings in the comics. It was weird that they changed it, but I suppose for a Disney movie, you want to be a little bit more family friendly. Okay, where is this on your list?
This is. That could probably move up. I don't know. It's at 26.
Okay.
But again, it's
fine.
Not the most remarkable film, but fine. CG overdone in the third act. Wish it was a little bit more just, hand-to-hand combat based in the end.
Well, speaking of remarkable, can't wait for the hot take you have on this one.
Oh Lord.
The Eternals. Simply and eloquently titled Eternals. It's got Angelina Jolie looking like an absolute smoke show. I'll give it that.
I always forget that.
This one feels. It's also got Salma Hayek, but she's not quite as fantastic in this one. This looks more like a DCU movie, like a Snyder movie. It's got a very different color palette, and by that I mean a lack of color. It's just it's a rich nothing kind of look to it. A lot of dark muted colors, but it looks pretty all the same. It's not an ugly movie. It just feels so separate, not only in terms of visuals, but storytelling, the characters in general being kind of these, there's celestials in it, there's gods in it, but not the same type of gods that we've seen in Thor. Everything has a very sterile feel, I guess is what I would say. There's like a lack of emotion throughout the film. Again, it's really freaking long, and nothing feels even remotely cohesive with the MCU as a whole, and it adds a lot of holes to the narratives that we've seen coming in. So much so that you would like lose your mind if you tried to like connect the dots in this thing, especially with the giant fucking Titan hand coming out of the planet that doesn't cause the planet to just be destroyed with like tidal waves and all sorts of mass hysteria. But again, setting aside the fact that it's supposed to be part of the MCU, how does it stand on its own? Not very well. Because again, there's just such a lack of cohesion between the narrative and what these characters are capable of doing. You have like a Flash character. You have a super powerful, strong character. There's a Superman character. I don't really know what I'm watching. It's just there's something happening all the time and nothing really adds up to anything exciting. I have this one ranked at, I know it's very low because I do not think much of it, 35.
Yeah, that's fair. Ty Sabin, I can name all the characters probably. Icarus, Cersei. I'm not going to do it, but I can name
because
quite a
you
few of
know
them.
them from other media, not from this movie, I would imagine.
I familiarized myself with them once the movie was announced, but I'm not
Hmm.
an expert on Eternals. Um, this movie's just boring.
Yeah.
It's way too freaking long. It is boring. And funny enough, you were saying it felt like a DCEU film. Chloe Zhao said that a lot of Icarus's stuff was inspired by Man of Steel.
Sure.
Um, at least in how he, was fighting like Superman or whatever. But yeah, this
Although
movie's
Man of
just
Steel was more emotional than this movie.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
I love Man of Steel.
Yeah, I like
But
Man of Steel a lot too.
this movie just blows. It has way too many good actors that they're wasting. It promised way too much that it didn't deliver on ever, and everyone's still waiting for Harry Styles to come back. Not really, but you know what I'm saying.
And the blade tease, of course, too.
Oh my gosh,
for no
yeah.
reason.
Holy crap.
Hmm.
This movie sucks. 31 is where I have it. I could, if I rewatched it, I could probably take it down even lower, but quite frankly, I don't really want to rewatch it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't remember much of it. I just remember hating it.
Like
And I have
Inhumans,
a
it sucked.
review on it.
Inhumans was abominable.
I have
Oh
a
my
review
gosh.
on it that goes into detail of why I don't like it, but I'm sure I don't remember much of this movie. All right, here's going to be a polarizing one. Spider-Man No Way Home, kind of the Avengers Endgame of the Spider-Man trilogy. We have all the Spider-Mans in here, wrapped around quite possibly the dumbest plot ever conceived for a Spider-Man movie. Again, it's kind of one of those things where it's got the high highs and the low lows. And the low is the first 50% of this movie, where Peter Parker is crying about his friends not getting into college. And so Doctor Strange, who apparently is like, fuck it, after Endgame, I'm just going to like manipulate time and people, and it's just going to be willy-nilly for, making my what is this buddy's name who's in a bunch of these movies? Who's the heavier guy that's funny and
Ned?
he's all no, not Ned. I'm talking about Doctor
Strange.
Wong, yeah. Doesn't he make him forget that they went drinking at one point?
Yeah,
he says he uses this
do you remember
device.
the full moon party at Kamertage? No, exactly.
Exactly, yeah, and he's done it several times. So we're at the point now where just everything's a joke. Nothing has any seriousness to it, which is a shame because this is a kind of a high stakes movie, and it gets very serious in the later half when his freaking aunt dies. Aunt May is toast in this movie. It's a very sad scene, but again, it's just wrapped around such a bullshit plot that it's hard to really appreciate it for as much as it brings. That said, the final section where our Spider-Men all come together and they save the day, it's got some great moments.
Yeah,
I don't think this director, which I'm blanking on his name,
John Watts,
I think he's gotten worse over the course of the 3 movies. I think like every movie they get uglier looking and the action's not as good. And
I'm just glad that he didn't wind up directing Fantastic Four like he was supposed to.
Yeah,
when that movie was announced, when that movie was announced, I was happy, and then I heard his name was attached to it, and I went no. And then he finally dropped out. Thank God. But
I have No Way Home at 17 on my list, and it's not for really any of the spectacle, because that final fight at the Statue of Liberty that they're reconstructing, it's kind of ugly looking. It's not a pretty. If you compare that to the Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he fights Electro, whatever.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful looking movie, top to bottom.
It is.
It's a bad movie, top to bottom, but it's a beautiful
You're a fraud, Spider-Man.
Oh, it's awful. It's an awful movie, but when he's like jumping around, it's going into slow motion. The electricity's trailing him.
Hans Zimmer's score.
Oh, it sounds great. It looks great. Sony makes, well, they used to make pretty movies until the Sony Spider-Man cinematic universe that doesn't have Spider-Man came out.
About Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah, Kraven,
beautiful movie.
Madam Web, Pepsi Web. Anyway, it's high of highs, low of lows. It's nice seeing the Spider-Man interact. Outside of that, I just don't really care much about this like a lot of other people do.
Yeah, so
17 on my list.
Yeah, mine's a little bit higher.
Yeah.
It's number 4. So I know. Shut it down. Send me
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. I
So,
guess you forgot about the Spider-Man multiverse comic book saga that showcases the end of the world happening, and it was such a betrayal in this movie to not showcase that properly. Come on, Michael.
So this was I agree. The plot around this is absolutely ridiculous. That Spider-Man interrupts Doctor Strange and annoys him mid spell cast, and that destabilizes the spell, thus causing an interdimensional rift. And the fact that Doctor Strange did not explain all the consequences to said spell made even less sense. However, I will take that any day over Spider-Man making a deal with Mephisto, like as what happened in Spider-Man One More Day. After in Civil War, he revealed his identity to the public, and he made a deal with Mephisto to have his identity go back to being anonymous. And also, it completely dissolved his marriage with Mary Jane, and the character has never been the same ever since. So this movie is 100% fan service, in the best way, I would say. I love this movie. I saw it in the theater 9 times.
Oh my God.
Which is the most I've ever seen any movie.
Did you just walk into it halfway, like, over every time? Because that's what I would do. I would just skip the first half and walk in when the other ones. Jesus.
So I saw it 7 times during its initial run, and then when they re-released it the following year with the extended cut, I saw that twice.
I watched it twice.
My girlfriend can't shake her head at me because she was with me for like 5 of those times or something.
I mean, that's true love. If you were able to drag her to that 5 times, holy crap.
Yep.
I barely made it through 2. I watched it at home with my family, and they're like, "Really? This is the one that's super hyped up?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's a bunch of weirdo nerds that love this shit. Michael's one of them, I guess."
Look, I grew up with the Toby trilogy. I was upset when Andrew never got his 3rd film, and seeing this happen was just, I have never been in the theater more alive than the one I saw when I saw this movie, because they just came to life when Daredevil stepped on screen, when Andrew stepped on screen, when Toby stepped on screen, and the final act and everything. It was just, I had such a good freaking time. I still love this movie to this day.
Well, I'm not gonna knock you for having your opinion. So let's move on.
It's flawed. It's very flawed, but I love it. I don't care.
I mean, you're not alone. You're not alone. A lot of people love the crap out of this movie, and I don't discredit their feelings towards it. I just I enjoyed it. I did. I mean, it's not like bottom of my list. I think it's 17, so it's still in the upper echelon.
Lego set up there of the New York statue battle. So
I assume this one's high up on your list too. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. You want to talk about fan service? You get Patrick Stewart back, Xavier. You get fan casting with Jim Halpert as Mr. Fantastic, a very worthy opponent to Wanda, who takes them out unceremoniously in like 5 seconds.
Wanda, Black Bolt can destroy you with one whisper of his mouth.
Well, probably shouldn't have said that out loud. Yeah.
You said the quiet part out loud, Reed.
Yeah. Although she can read his thoughts anyway, so it doesn't matter. This movie, this is Sam Raimi really flexing. And as much as I love Sam Raimi as a director, this was a mess. This was a mess, top to bottom. It felt like a lot of interference was put into this one. I don't know if I could blame Sam Raimi for the final product. It's got some of his good horror elements in it. It's got some very fun. It's got some parts that I really enjoy. I love when she I love when she takes on the I don't remember the nerdy titles for these people. When she goes up against Strange and his team of people are
Illuminati.
Okay, the Illuminati, and she whispers into the one guy's ear, sows doubt, finds the bad spot in the armor. Or she say run or something. Run.
The Sorcerer's Camouflage. Yeah. Run.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
I think I climaxed after she said that. It was such a turn on. But yeah, there's some great scenes in here, and it's really trippy when they're going through the different dimensions, a little dimension rift action going on. They did the same exact shot in Star Wars Episode 9 when they start hyper jumping or whatever the fuck they go warp jumping in between
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Catholics. Whoa! They do the same thing in Doctor Strange. He's going through the different dimensions. It's cool, but it's like 3 seconds. I guess I was hoping that they'd do more of that stuff where they would go to a bunch of different places. I think I'm easier on this movie than a lot. I don't hate this movie. It's just kind of okay. I was expecting a lot more from it, I guess, is the end of the day takeaway. I have it at 22, and I would be surprised as fuck if we ever see Charlize Theron reprise her role as that purple lady at the end.
Yeah, as
whatever.
Clea, that's what
as Dazzler or whatever she is.
So this movie is admittedly an embarrassing one for me because the first time I saw it, I loved it. Like I saw this was one that I saw multiple times in the theater. And then I rewatched it after the hype died down on Blu-ray, and I was just like, okay, I was overselling it like completely.
Oh, by the way, Michael, one more thing on this movie. How absolutely fucking stupid is it that Wanda is just a straight up villain at the beginning of this movie with absolutely no buildup? Could you imagine if you didn't watch WandaVision? I watched WandaVision. They still
doesn't make sense.
They still don't lead into her really being a villain. They just show her like looking at the book. That doesn't mean she's evil. So again, much like Hulk, they completely changed her character off camera.
Yep.
And if you'd imagine being just kind of like your traditional movie-going fan of the Marvel movies, like you go to them, you don't really pay attention to the show. Right. You don't pay attention to the shows. And so you just see her and she's totally a totally different character who's simping over her fake ass kids that she created in a TV series. What? Awful.
A buddy of mine didn't have Disney Plus and he went and saw Doctor Strange and was completely thrown out by that. He was just like, what? This just came out of nowhere. What? I'm like, you got to watch this mini series beforehand. And he's like, well, I don't have time for that. But making Wanda a villain was freaking stupid. And Elizabeth Olsen agrees on that too. The movie was rewritten so many times to the point where she said she just stopped reading the drafts because it was going to change tomorrow. So yeah, this movie, like, I don't hate it, but there's so much about it that is just freaking terrible.
Yeah.
You know, like it's 25 on my list, which it could probably go down, but I loved the action. I loved how Sam Raimi, like you were saying, brought his horror style to it in a lot of ways. Basically in how the Illuminati get decimated, essentially.
Yeah.
But and let's never forget that Pizza Papa always gets his money. Good old Bruce Campbell. But and that was honestly as much of a middle finger as that post-credits scene was, that was honestly hilarious when he's punching himself and then it stops and he goes, it's over, and then it cuts to black.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, I'm losing my voice. I've been talking too long.
I know. Well, let's rapid fire through these. We're getting down there anyways. We got like 7 or 8 left, and this one we already kind of touched upon how freaking much of a shit show it is. Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't like this movie. It's an absolute disaster from front to back. I have it 4th from the bottom. It's number 34 on my list.
34.
Yeah.
Hey,
there you go. 34 for Thor 4. It's it's got like old memes with goats screaming that goes on far too long. It's got the most
Hammer love triangle.
The irony of all of this is the one thing that all the like grifter dipshits on YouTube were spazzing out about, which was Lady Thor and how she was replacing Thor and all that stuff that wasn't true. That was like the best part of the movie. It was the only thing. It was the only kind of sincere emotional weight that the film had going for it. Now, obviously, they're gonna like dumb it up as soon as she becomes Lady Thor, and Natalie Portman's gonna absolutely botch any sort of joke that's given to her. To her credit, the jokes are terrible in this movie, so not much she could do.
Oh,
But
you
the
didn't
whole
you didn't like the several orgy jokes that Russell Crowe made, and that was literally all his character. You didn't like that. You
Russell
didn't like
Crowe, oh
seeing
my god,
like
Russell Crowe
Oscar
is,
winning. I'm guessing Oscar winning.
yeah, he's an Oscar
Actor
winner.
Russell
Yeah.
Crowe be freaking Zeus in the dumb and like prance around in a tutu.
It was really, really awful. But the cancer plot and the idea that Thor's hammer was keeping her alive, that was freaking good. That was the only thing. Is like that should have been the movie. We didn't need all this other stuff. This is a good movie right here. And that little 2-minute montage of them spending time together and fighting and him leaving, that was the only part of the film that I thought was like had some effort put in and some heart and genuine.
I actually did appreciate that sequence because that was something that kind of bothered me in Ragnarok 2 that I forgot to mention, was the fact that Jane was just not there, and you only hear from an offhand comment that they broke up.
Yeah.
And there was really no explanation to it. Just, oh, well, Natalie Portman didn't re-sign her contract, so I guess they broke up. And so actually seeing that happen and them fizzle out like that, I appreciated them including that. The other prop I'll give this movie, if I can give it anything, is Christian Bale acting circles around literally every other person in this movie, being completely wasted, and them not doing anything with his character, but he at least was acting cool, and his planet gave some really cool cinematography. But aside from that, this movie's just abominable.
Yeah, he was the best actor in a bad movie, but the problem is he just felt like he was in a totally different movie, so it also made him come off kind of silly because
Gore the God Butcher kills one god on screen.
I know. The show don't tell thing that Hollywood still gets wrong so many times. Like, I don't want to hear that he killed like 4 or 5 of these amazing people. I want to see it.
Also, Korg, if he didn't piss me off before, oh my gosh, dude. When he got struck by the lightning bolt, I was cheering. I was hoping he would stay dead. And then he was a freaking face for the rest of the movie. And I'm like, good Lord, shut this piece of crap.
There's a lot of faces in this movie. Love the one of the
kid. The kid.
And apparently they like fixed it up for the digital release, and it looked like 5% better. Just terrible.
Yeah. Thor Guns N' Roses is 34 on my list.
Yeah, mine too. We established that. Let's get to one that's even lower for me. I think this movie is freaking terrible. And that's Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This is ranked 36.
Kind of whatever.
Yeah, this is ranked 36 on my list. It's truly the worst scenario for this type of movie. You have a lot of money. You have a lot of credibility from the last film built up, and you have to make another one because the first one did over $1 billion. It's got a massive built-in audience, but your lead star is dead. You don't want to replace him because everybody loved Chadwick Boseman as this character, and it would come off as kind of an insult to do it, even though you have half the audience that wants you to, another half that doesn't. So instead,
his family wanted them to.
It doesn't matter. They didn't do it. Instead, we got this total botchery of a film where they're going to spend a third of it burying the guy. They're going to spend another section of it building up Ironheart for her terrible Disney Plus show. She already has an Iron Man suit. Like, they don't take the time to build anything in this movie. Things are just already constructed off camera in the cheapest way possible. And the most laughable part, I think, of all of this is somehow there's an ocean now right next to Wakanda that I guess we missed in the last ever.
Yeah, landlocked country somehow has an ocean right outside.
It's got an ocean and a river that runs right through the damn place. And they have this hilariously large cruise ship-esque black ship that they're gonna that they've
floating
determined
rectangle
in their infinite wisdom is the best way to fight
ocean.
Checks notes an ocean dwelling character. What? All right, we're gonna fight him on our home turf in the water. The movie is a disaster. Shuri? Is it Shuri or Shuri? Shuri was wonderful in the first film. she's a
Yeah.
sad sack of nothing in this movie. And then, of course, she has to turn to Black Panther because we had to have someone do it. It's not earned. It's just thrown at her. Namor was a super lame character that comes out of nowhere who apparently has this bad blood with the family. But again, we don't see any of that. We're just told it really offhandedly. I remember watching this film and nothing making a lick of sense and me being just frustrated and pissed because, again, I enjoyed the first one. I wanted to see where they went, and it turns out nowhere interesting at all. Bad.
Yeah. This is a film that just should have never have happened.
Yeah.
Honestly, after Chadwick, I understand they wanted to make another one, but after Chadwick Boseman died, if you're not gonna make, or you're not gonna recast him, then you just don't make Black Panther 2. You just don't. The fact that not even Bucky showed up to his funeral, no other Avengers were there, not even Bucky showed up, was ridiculous to me.
Was Freeman in the second one? Was Martin Freeman in that one?
Yeah.
Oh, he was there?
And
Okay,
we
I can't
find
remember.
out
The movie's
we
so
find out-
forgettable.
we find out that he was the ex-husband of Elaine from Seinfeld.
Oh, oh my God, that's hilarious.
It was freaking ridiculous. So yeah, this movie was again another long, boring. Here's how I describe it. There is a beautiful tribute to Chadwick Boseman at the beginning. There's a beautiful tribute to Chadwick Boseman at the end. Unfortunately, there's 2 hours and 40 minutes between those two.
You know what they should have done? You know what they should have done?
Not done it.
Hear me out. No, there's a way around this, and they should have just done it. I don't care how much of a cop-out it is. And I know you didn't care for him that much, but most people really liked Killmonger from the first movie.
Oh, bring him back, like a variant of him?
Do a scene right after he's supposedly killed on the top of the mountain peak where he doesn't die. Boseman's character drags him into some ceremonial chamber where he's able to keep him alive. And we're going to spend this movie building Killmonger up. He's going to take the advice that he's given, the wisdom that he's given, or he's learned from the Black Panther, and he will take up the mantle as the new Black Panther halfway or maybe in the third act of the film. We build this, we do a Loki on this guy because this dude had redeemable qualities for sure.
That would have been way more interesting for sure.
Yeah. Instead, we did this just miserable approach.
Namor pissed me off because they changed so much about his character to the point where he's almost unrecognizable. So in the comics, he's Atlantean, not from Talokan, but because of Aquaman making a movie, we have to differentiate, even though Aquaman is the ripoff of Namor.
So is Loki.
Yeah, exactly. So is Bucky.
So
Bucky killed JFK.
Well, like, Bucky, to be fair, was
running for Congress.
He wasn't doing it on his own free will. Loki was, though.
Yeah, I guess. Although they tried to backtrack that and say that Thanos was controlling Loki through the Mind Stone and his staff, but whatever.
Oh, come on. He was an evil dude.
Also, Peter Parker was the kid in Iron Man 2, but whatever. So yeah, Namor, they change him from being half Scottish, half Atlantean to half Mayan, half Talokan. And instead of his name being Namor, which is Atlantean for avenging sun, they change it to Namor, which is Mayan for sun without love.
Mm.
And I mean, like, okay, whatever, fine. You want to make him, you know, like you do a race swap on him so this actor can play him, fine, whatever. You're won over by this actor. You want him to give a decent performance and you have a really cool idea for how to reshape this character, fine. But the fact that they just made his motivations just a discount Killmonger, except he's 10 times more dumb because his whole mentality is we're going to take the war to the surface and we're going to wait 700 years until the one country on the planet that can stop us opens themselves up to the world.
It was almost too perfect. It was almost too perfect. You know who should have played Namor is Tilda Swinton. That would have been perfect. Okay, where did you put this at, by the way?
30.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to go to one that I think we'll both agree with is worse than 30. And that is... Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I would say this is the worst film in the MCU. In fact, I have it as the worst film in the MCU. It's at number 37 for me. I have like no redeemable quality that I can pull from this movie. Nothing works. The characters have all become cartoons of themselves. Ant-Man's daughter has been replaced now, what, 3 times? 4 times? I understand the kid one shouldn't count, but I don't know why they had to change her from the version in Endgame.
You know what's funny?
What? Please.
The actress who played her in the first 2 Ant-Man movies was old enough to play her by the time they made the 3rd Ant-Man movie.
Of course. And the actress they have, what do you know the actress's name that's in the newer one?
Catherine Newton. Yeah.
Okay, Catherine Newton. No ill will. I've seen her in some things that she's been good in.
Abigail.
She's in Abigail?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the vampire one, right? The ballerina one? Yeah, I was thinking of someone else. Yeah, she's good in that. She's good in the Lisa Frankenstein as well. But she's abysmal in this. Abysmal. Yeah. She can't get through a serious line of dialogue, not that there is any, without smirking. It just comes off as so unearned and dishonest from his character that did not earn a place here. But everything top to bottom is just played for jokes. You have the villain from the first movie back as the giant head. What is his name? It starts with an M. MODOK, yes. I know he's a zany, goofy character, but didn't translate well to film. The entire underworld, or whatever they call it, the quantum realm, is...
Yep.
I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so nothing. The whole movie's a shit show. And then your big bad that's going to lead the next set of Avengers films is defeated by ants.
Yep.
Like there's one scene in the whole movie where Ant-Man is fighting Kang. Is it Kang the Conqueror? Is that how you say it? Kang the Conqueror?
Yeah. Kang the Conqueror. Yep.
And I'm like, okay, he got his family out. He's going to sacrifice himself. Here's this hero moment. But then, nope, just kidding. And he leaves too. Like the daughter comes back and pulls him in. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Also, the whole premise of this movie is built upon the fact that his daughter somehow secretly found this place because she's a genius and she's working alongside grandpa or something. Again, off camera. This is all done. She was apparently building this thing out since she was 13. No, I'm over it. It's terrible.
True Detective has the funniest freaking comment. It's a vomitorium where the vomiting is both for accuracy and distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also looks like shit. Most of this movie looks terrible.
Just there were so many memes comparing it to Spy Kids 3, and they're all accurate.
Spy Kids 3D.
Yep. I think the only redeeming factor, because I've only seen this movie once, I haven't rewatched it since the theater, and maybe I could do with a rewatch just to more accurately take it down in the list, but I don't really want to.
Don't do
much
it.
Like Eternals.
Don't do it.
Bill Murray is randomly in this movie.
That's right.
And the other thing too, just to show up and be like, oh yeah, by the way, I banged Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay, see you guys. But so Quantumania, I think the thing I remember liking about it was I thought that Jonathan Majors was actually giving a somewhat decent performance.
Sure. Again, he's the only
means nothing now.
Yeah. And again, he's the only straight man in a room full of cartoons.
You're right. The fact that the awful Avengers game from 2020 did a better job adapting MODOK than this movie, that blows my mind.
That's right.
I cannot believe. I genuinely can't believe this movie even exists the way it does. It's so hollow.
Well, this and Thor, Love and Thunder, both, they feel like they don't have a single real set in the entire movie. It just feels like actors are walking in front of green screens. The whole movie feels cheap, like it was shot in a weekend. It's really bad. Where do you have it on your list? I have it last.
32, but
yeah, okay. Well, that's low. That's low.
It probably deserves lower.
Well, it deserves last, really.
Yeah.
Someone had it last. I think I agree with where they had it. Can't remember
I'm not
who
gonna
that
fight
was.
you on that at all.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it's probably the most. It was probably the most no effort movie in the entire MCU.
Yeah. Well, we get effort after this, and thankfully, it's a great close. It's a final chapter, a final volume, if you will, to the
Yes.
Gunn cinematic trilogy known as the Guardians of the Galaxy. This one feels a little different than the previous two entries. Gunn's, I think, using some new cameras or some new tricks. He's going to translate that to Superman, but punch up every color by about 1,000. I like this movie. I have it at number 4, I think. 4. Yeah, I do the Guardians 2, 3, and 4 on my list here. I'm a big fan of these movies. I just really like the characters. And I
Yeah.
like where they took the story with this one. I thought it had a really satisfying ending. He didn't have to kill anyone off to get a cheap sympathy vote. Instead, he gave us moments where we thought it was going to happen, but then he said, "You know what? I don't need to. You love these guys. You love them dead or alive. Let's keep them alive a little bit longer." And the only thing that keeps this from being higher than the other two movies is the Gamora treatment. I never thought it felt like James Gunn was jaded about what happened to her with the Russo brothers. I really felt like he wrote her in a way that was saying, "Hey, I don't really know what to fucking do with this character because they killed her off. And so now I'm just going to have her be kind of a jaded, bitter person, which is how I feel about, about what they did to her." And
Yeah.
they get a lovely moment at the end, her and Star-Lord, but even then it's not really much, he
Right.
doesn't give us a lot. And that feels like a natural place to put it because she is a complete stranger to him. And so I get why he holds it in. He holds back with saying like, "Yeah, they fall in love all over again. It's a different person." It makes sense. But there's a lot of stuff. He just did a really good job of darkening this one, giving it a lot of stakes and drama, but also retaining the silliness, the zany worlds, and of course you got some fun cameos. We have to bring oh god, Nathan Fillion has to come in at some point. So it was nice. And I actually thought James Gunn's wife was really funny in this too when she gets shot in the leg or whatever. She just makes the funniest noise.
Screaming.
Yeah. This was a great end, and it's funny that James Gunn made a bunch of Disney characters to essentially murder in front of a bunch of kids.
Yeah,
because he can.
I love this movie. This is definitely one of the best post Endgame projects that isn't a nostalgia fest with a bunch of legacy characters and all that crap.
Yeah.
This is my number 12. It's right next to the second Guardians of the Galaxy for me.
Yep.
I virtually have no complaints. I love how they focused on Rocket. I love how they fleshed out his origin. I love how tragic they made his origin.
Yeah.
Geez, another good, probably not my favorite soundtrack, but definitely a lot of good ones on there.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I will put a criticism toward, I guess, is the fake out death for Star-Lord at the very end. I didn't believe for a second that they were going to kill them because narratively he hadn't earned that sacrifice. If anyone was going to earn a self-sacrifice, it would have been Rocket, but he's too incapacitated throughout the entire film as it is that it wouldn't make sense for him to die at the end either. Right. I think that the way they did save everyone worked for the way they structured the story, because originally I thought they were going to kill a bunch of them. Matter of fact, I thought at one point they could just freaking kill all of them if they wanted, because James Gunn said you're not going to see this roster of Guardians altogether ever again.
Well, and James Gunn left. Like James Gunn was on his way out.
Batista, I for sure thought was going to die, and he didn't.
Dave Bautista's really good in these movies. I love him in these films.
And yeah, it was I guess I wasn't expecting quite a childish Adam Warlock, but at the same time, I was expecting Adam Warlock to be a big part of Infinity War and Endgame, because in the Infinity War story, he's a big part of that story, but they didn't do that, so whatever. Also, I think it's funny because Star-Lord doesn't have a helmet in this movie, and I'm pretty sure that's just James Gunn being pissed off at Marvel Studios. because at the end of Guardians 2, remember he's fighting Ego and his helmet breaks.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have it anymore. And that's why Yondu had to give him the space suit or whatever to save him. But in Infinity War and Endgame, he has the helmet again. He just doesn't have it here, and him not having it almost kills him. He also doesn't have his rocket boosters, which I thought that was weird too. But it almost felt like James Gunn sticking to his own in-universe continuity and not really caring what Infinity War or Endgame did.
Well, that's why I doubled down on the fact that I think he was just pissed that they killed Gamora, because
probably pissed he got fired too.
If you
only for them to come crawling back to him.
Yeah, also true. If you watch Guardians 1 and 2 back to back, I don't think you miss anything if you miss any of the other Marvel movies. You can just watch those right back to back to back. There's nothing changes. But if you watch the trilogy, you're completely lost if you didn't watch some of the other stuff in between 2 and 3.
Yep.
But if they went to kill Gamora, I don't think you would have lost anything. You could watch this trilogy all the way through and nothing major would have changed. So the fact that, again, you are now required to watch a couple other movies does kind of hinder the trilogy as a whole, which I'm sure pisses James Gunn off like nothing else would. It actually kind of annoys me now as I say it out loud that they fucked up his trilogy by now making it mandatory that you watch a couple like Infinity War and Endgame. Not that that's a bad watch, but still, it's just one more thing.
That's something that's always annoyed me about, like, because to an extent, Iron Man is very similar. You got to watch Avengers in between Iron Man 2 and 3. I mean, if you didn't, it probably wouldn't be as big of a deal. But Daredevil on Netflix. Daredevil, my favorite show of all time. If you do not watch Defenders in between seasons 2 and 3, you are going to be lost at the start of season 3. It's almost like Mandalorian 2 and 3. If you don't watch Book of Boba Fett, that freaking awful show.
You should watch Mandalorian season 3 anyways, because it's fucking trash.
Just watch 1 and 2 and call it a day. But like it's the same kind of effect, right?
I mean,
like
the end of 2 is the end of the arc anyways. He gets what is that dumb thing's name? Baby Yoda, Gorgo or Gorgu or something. Grogu. He gets Grogu. Such a terrible name. He gets Grogu to the Jedi. It's over. The story's over.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, where did you
Number
put
12?
12. All right, that's fine.
Yep.
Okay, we're almost done. Let's push through these. These are kind of newer ones anyway, so there's not a whole lot to say. I'm sure. Of course, this is like a polarizing one for me. The Marvels.
Oh.
People hate this movie. A lot of people didn't watch it. Blah, 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 blah. I thought it was perfectly fine. I put it at 24, somewhere in the middle. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon. It's short.
Adam is woke. He only likes left wing. Adam does woke. That's the new channel. Adam does woke.
It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt me because I embrace it. I thought this was a fun trio. Brie Larson was able to not be such a stick in the mud in this movie. It is not taking itself serious. The villain was a freaking hilarious character. I laughed my ass off at her. I think she was trying to do a serious performance, but it was terrible. And that's what made it. But that's what made it really fun for me. Is she reminded me of an old, like early 2000s villain you would see in something like Fantastic Four with the Nip Tuck actor who died, R.I.P. Just kind of like power. That. I was exactly. I always wanted power, just like bad, but in a fun way. And this has a crazy ending that also probably won't go anywhere in the MCU, where CG Beast shows up. There's just
that's Doomsday, because Kelsey Grammer is going to be in Doomsday.
Okay, well, regardless, this is such a fun, nonsensical, absolute clusterfuck of a movie where you're required to watch like a couple Disney Plus shows, the stupid Captain Marvel movie, but you really could just forget all that and watch this at face value, and you'd be fine. And I'm fine with it. I have no problems with this.
Al Davis reminded me. This is the actress who played the main villain, Dar Ben or whatever her name was. She is played by Tom Hiddleston's wife.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, this movie's like, it's slop. It's not good. I didn't care for it.
It is slop. It's like watchable family slop.
I totally understand your argument though, because there are definitely movies out there that I enjoy just as, cheesy, crappy, whatever,
Yeah.
because like to an extent, I would make that case about Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
That's not a good movie,
No.
but I don't hate it and I
Yeah.
enjoy watching it because it's like an hour and a half and it's done.
Yeah. Hour and a half.
Yeah.
Both the Fantastic Four movies I don't hate. I think they're just.
Oh, I love the first one.
Yeah, they're
I
fine.
love the first one.
They're all right. That's what this is. This is all right. This is like a family movie you put on in the back, or you watch it on a Sunday afternoon with the kids, and there's some fun action. There's a couple cool set pieces. I like the trio. I really like Kamala Khan and her family.
Yes.
They're great.
Iman Vellani was great.
She is. She's really good in this. There is legitimately some pretty fun action scenes where they're doing the power swapping, and I thought that film-wise, it wasn't too bad to look at either. Nick Fury, he's a cartoon in this, but again, everything else is too, so it matches. Speaking of cartoons, where do you have this? Where do you have this?
33.
Oh wow, you really don't like this. Okay.
Honestly, another one that I saw once in the theater, haven't revisited.
Sure.
Could, but to get a more accurate view, but honestly, just don't feel like it. I thought it was funny how you go for Fury, Secret Invasion to that show, and it is night and day. This movie pretends like that show never even happened. Honestly, it's yeah.
I heard Secret Invasion's just terrible.
My voice is going. Jeez.
Okay, we got 4 left.
I can make it. Yeah, Secret Invasion is just abysmal. Not worth watching at all.
Okay, we have. Okay, Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't think this is any different than the Marvels, which I just talked about, as far as nonsensical slop movies go. The story in this thing is abysmal. It makes very little sense, but this movie is funny as fuck. I had a blast watching this with my kids in theaters. We had a great time. I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I think Ryan Reynolds is great as Deadpool. I don't actually know where I put this at 18 on the list, and it's entirely because fan service and great action. But as far as story and plot are concerned, not that you need a great one in Deadpool, but to be fair, Deadpool 1 and 2 had pretty good plots. As far as a negative goes, I hate that, you mentioned Natalie Portman's character in Thor Ragnarok. They did the exact same thing here in Deadpool 3 with his wife.
Yeah,
Vanessa. They're just on the fritz for some reason. It makes no sense at all narratively, and they don't really conclude it. But regardless, fun buddy road trip movie. It's number 18 for me. Great action.
Yeah, I just had a blast with this movie.
Yeah.
So my rating is hyperinflated for sure. Nostalgia from the X-Men films definitely helped this. My love for Deadpool. Deadpool 1 is one of my favorite movies of all time, in my top 10.
It's a great movie.
I love it. And Logan is my 4th favorite movie of all time as well.
Very, very good movie. Yeah. Love it.
So when they announced that he was coming back, I was in a really weird spot because I was excited to see Hugh Jackman come back as Wolverine and be with Deadpool. But at the same time, I'm like, Logan was too perfect. How are you going to? And then I kind of liked how they were just like, so how are we going to honor Logan's legacy? We're not.
Right.
Like,
it was fine.
Face value, right? So this movie probably does not deserve to be where I put it. And I should probably change this because right now it's sitting at 6.
Okay.
I could probably put this behind the first 2 Captain America movies and probably Guardians of the Galaxy, but I loved it. I saw it in the theater a couple of times, and it was my favorite movie of 2024. I understand it's not perfect. It's like Spider-Man No Way Home for Deadpool is what it is. And that's how it appealed to me as well. I also just liked the thematic element in the narrative where even though it doesn't make narrative sense, the themes are what held it together for me, where it's literally paralleling exactly what Disney was doing with Deadpool. It was the X-Men franchise. We don't care about that. It's dead. And Deadpool's making money and we want to keep Deadpool. So they literally create a character who's going to make a time ripper to, as Deadpool says, Old Yeller that universe and save Deadpool and keep him in the MCU. And Ryan Reynolds is basically there like, no, I still care about that franchise, so screw you. I'm bringing Wolverine back, and we're going to do something, have fun, and, you know, I don't care about your corporate BS. So there, that element to it, I really enjoyed. I, of course, appreciated all the side characters that showed up and everything. I never in a million years did I expect Blade to be in this movie, played by Wesley Snipes. I was under the impression that Snipes hated Ryan Reynolds because they hated each other on the set of Blade Trinity.
Blade Trinity, yep.
And I guess they put that behind them.
I mean, it's been a long ass time since Blade Trinity. I think time and money has a way to heal wounds.
Yeah, money especially.
Yeah.
But
okay.
no, I love this movie. It's not perfect, but I love it.
All right. We got
that's my mantra for most of these. It's not perfect, but I love it.
We've been going for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Jesus.
Okay, we gotta go. We gotta make the Snyder cut. We gotta go for another hour.
Oh my god. I'm gonna pass out. Any super chat, I lied. Any super chats would be great. Just pity super chats. All right, let's go to the number. I don't know what we're on. 35, 36. Yeah, 35. Captain America, Brave New World. I know you love this one. I know the lame new world. Kind of the same world that we've seen a bunch of times, but worse. I have Captain America, Brave New World at 28. Just above Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I have it at 29, just above Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Fair and honest.
There was so much that happened behind the scenes that cut this movie to pieces, and it was reshot like 80 million times. I hated what they did with the leader so much. I can't believe they took the original design and decided, nah, we need to make him look like a booger. And then make him.
But Sidewinder is in the movie for reasons. I hate Captain America. Why? I don't know, but I talk like this, and I shoot at him a couple times, and then I'm gone, and then I'm back, and I'm
Captain
gone.
America's driving down the street, and randomly he just happens to be in that street, pulls out an AK and starts firing at him. Like, okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, these definitely are reshoots.
I love how Sam took an axe to the stomach and survived without the super soldier serum.
I love how he didn't take the super soldier serum for no reason at all. It never made sense narratively in the TV series. It makes less sense now when he's fighting the freaking Red Hulk.
Because if he was the right choice and if he was a good man, then the serum would have amplified his good qualities, because that's literally what happened to Steve Rogers.
He's unique on his own. He doesn't need enhancements.
Oh, yeah, that's why he has vibranium wings and Black Panther powers now. Okay,
No. I always say this, but it's like, at some point, could we put fucking Black Widow and Hawkeye in an Iron Man suit? Why are they not? Make it make sense.
That was the joke I saw.
I don't care how good of a shot Hawkeye is. Iron Man can lock on to things.
When Civil War came out, I saw this meme video. It was like someone animated like this cartoon video or whatever, and it was like they show up at the airport battle, and then they're like, wait, how are we supposed to know who's on what side? Okay, we should probably have matching uniforms. Okay, we'll come back tomorrow and we'll have matching uniforms. And like Team Cap is wearing all like, they're just wearing like red, white, and blue suits or whatever. And then all of a sudden Iron Man's just like, hey Cap, how's it going? And they're all wearing Iron Man suits.
Just destroy them.
Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh, but, we already ranked this. Do you have anything else to say about it?
Red Hulk was the best part.
Yes,
Harrison Ford gave probably one of his worst performances of his entire career, though, and they did not give you enough Red Hulk to justify watching the movie. My brother, who admittedly has been kind of not as enticed by more recent Marvel movies, he went to this with me because he loves Captain America, and he told me by the end of it, he's like, wasn't that great of a movie. Or he said something a little bit more a little bit more vague. He was just like
a little bit more profound.
My favorite part was Red Hulk.
Yeah,
That was all he said.
That's how a general audience is going to react. That's what.
Yeah.
I don't think Connor. Oh yeah, I did take my kids to it. Connor said the same thing. He's like, not enough Red Hulk. It was mid. Thunderbolts.
When you put them all over the marketing.
Yeah, of course. Thunderbolts. I have this one ranked.
Thunderbolts. I'm sorry. I think
asterisk.
you mean
Asterisk.
the new Avengers.
Avengers. Yes. Yes, King.
I can't
have
believe they
this.
put that on the packaging.
Yeah, so dumb. I have this at 15. I like this movie. I enjoyed it. Good ragtag ensemble film. I'm not gonna play this out because my review's up. This is a fresh movie still. It's out this year. But I like the characters. I like where they went with it. Sentry was cool. It worked.
I love the Sentry.
Yeah, it worked really well for me.
Yep. I have this at 19, which admittedly feels low, but there's just, again, like I've said before, there's just
you're only a few below me.
And this movie, I was not sure how it was going to turn out because admittedly, I did not like Red Guardian whatsoever in Black Widow. I love David Harbour, but I got so annoyed by his I'm a big guy and I make dumb jokes trope. I'm so sick of that in superhero movies these days. That's basically what the Hulk was post Ragnarok. And I'm done with that trope. I made a whole video on my channel called Marvel and DC Need to Stop Doing This, and it was exposing that that big dumb tank class character trope. So if anyone wants to check that out, it's one of my most viewed videos on my channel. So there you go. I do have a review for Thunderbolts as well. I really enjoyed this film. It was a big surprise. I went in with zero expectations and I had a great time with it. Yeah, I appreciated how it looked good for once. Yeah. Most Marvel movies have been so freaking ridiculously all over the place with their visual style.
A lot more practical effects, less green screen. It was refreshing.
Yeah. I also just, I couldn't help but laugh at the Absolute Cinema trailer that they put out beforehand. It's like, from the stars of Midsummer and
the A24, the A24 trailer.
The cinematographer of The Green Knight. And it's like, did you know that people in this movie made other movies and they worked for A24? Like,
yeah, it was clever. It was clever marketing.
But a real MVP of this movie was Taskmaster eating a bullet 5 seconds in. I went with a buddy of mine. When it got to, because he was joking about, because everyone and their brother was certain that Taskmaster was going to die. And when it got to that scene, my buddy starts cackling like the Joker in the theater, like just dying laughing. And everyone is dead silent. And I'm just kind of there like,
yikes. Awkward.
He was like, oh my gosh. I understand he was incredulous that they got rid of her that quick, but at the same time, I was just like, dude.
Yeah. Rein it in. Pull it back.
Eric, if you're watching, you know what happened.
You were there.
Yep.
You know what you did.
Yeah. But good movie. Good movie. Number 19.
All right. We are at the final crescendo of the night. This was a marathon to get through. Almost 3.5 hours. I have a headache, tired, weathered, but we did it. The MCU ranking concludes with the Fantastic Four Baby Steps, or First Steps, as I guess it's actually titled. But there's a baby in it, and it's certainly something to look at. Supposedly real. I don't believe it. We have the Fantastic Four. I have it at number 13. Pretty high up on the list. I thought it was pretty damn nice. A pleasant watch. Maybe I'm getting a little... easy on films in my old age. Old Adam Bears being a little bit more forgiving because of all the slop I've been seeing on the big screen. But Fantastic Four just being a well-made movie with a good set of characters who all felt like they were a family at the end of the day. And some really actually jaw-dropping scenes visually, especially when the Silver Surfette is surfing the fire waves around a dying star or whatever it was, a black hole. That was truly a sight to behold. Galactus, you could say, was kind of a pushover bitch, but overall, I thought it was a very charming little film. I have a full review, of course, and a spoiler breakdown video, so you don't need to hear any more from me. What do you think, Michael?
I think my favorite part was when Franklin starts walking and Ben says, "Those are fantastic for first steps." And Reed goes, "Say that again."
And then he winked at the camera. That's the title.
Yeah,
Fantastic Four. I like that song. That song is fire. Actually, the music goes really hard in this movie. Go on.
It does.
Michael Giacchino, I believe, is the.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That guy has yet to disappoint me with the score.
No, he and Silvestri. He and Silvestri do not miss. Do not miss. Oh, we could do a Speed Racer jerk offathon because I love that film. I honestly love that film. I've seen it like 8 times. It's so good.
You're like the only person I've ever only critic on YouTube I've ever seen actually give that movie praise, because I love that movie.
It's a dream.
Yeah,
it's a dream.
But
go on.
We're talking about Fantastic Four.
We're talking about not near as good as Speed Racer. Fantastic
Four. I went in with 0 expectations because I was hearing rumors from test screenings about certain things that did not sound good. And I was trying to keep a level head because I was really excited for Superman, and Superman kind of disappointed me. I still enjoyed Superman to an extent, but I was still disappointed by it. And I didn't want to be disappointed by Fantastic Four. So I went in and I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go, but who knows? We'll see. And I actually wound up really enjoying it. I didn't like it as much as I like Thunderbolts, but in this ranking, it is right underneath Thunderbolts at number 20. Again, seems kind of low, but at the same time, I've got other movies that I love.
A lot of good ones.
It was a really good movie. It had a lot of heart. I was very happy to see a superhero film where family was a big part of the overall theme and structure. This may or may not be the first time I've seen a superhero film where we have a kid with 2 parents that aren't dead.
It's refreshing. It's it's not the common thing, but yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Although we'll see how long that baby is going to have those parents before it's traipsed off with another character. I don't want to say spoilers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into spoilers on this movie.
Yeah.
But at the very, very end, what we happen to see in Galactus was everything I could have asked for, or everything I ever wanted. Ralph Ineson, when I heard he was cast, I knew it was going to be incredible. And I love that they actually gave us him in a suit. They did a great job with how he looked. Third act was probably the weaker side of things. I also thought the first act was a little bit fast paced, a little bit too rushed, but the second time I saw the movie, it actually grew
I love that. I love that pace of that first act. I thought that was perfect.
I was just wanting at the very beginning for them.
Especially Herbie.
I thought that a good way to open it would have been I mentioned this in my review. If you had an opening like Incredible Hulk, where you get snippets of their origin over top of the credits. Yeah. And then after that, we get a sequence of them as superheroes. We get a taste of their personalities and their relationships, their powers on display, establishing them, and they take down Mole Man. Give Mole Man better establishment than what we got, because he plays a very big part in the third act, and it kind of just comes out of nowhere. The whole Subterranea thing.
Yeah, but that was... Yeah, I get it. I hear it. I see it.
Yeah.
Overall, I didn't care so much about the action. I really enjoyed the characters and the way they interacted. And Herbie was the highlight for me. I could have watched a whole movie on Herbie. Maybe a Herbie Wally team up film down the road would be box office gold.
Did you know that Herbie was voiced by the same guy who played General Grievous in Revenge of the Sith?
Wow. Talented actor. Okay, well, so to summarize, final request to get super chats, and we got one in. I can read it in a little bit, but final thoughts. We're just gonna say our top 5 and our bottom 5 and leave it there. So my bottom 5, from best to worst of the bottom, are Thor: The Dark World, Thor: The Dark World, Thor: Love and Thunder, Eternals, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. The top 5 for me are Avengers Infinity War, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 through 3, and Thor Ragnarok. So I got 2 Thor movies in my bottom, and I got 1 in the top. That sounded hot.
Infinity War is your number 1. Ragnarok.
Infinity War. Okay. Infinity War is number 1. Yeah.
Gotcha. So my my bottom 5. My voice is completely gone. Holy crap.
We're almost done.
Bottom 5. The Marvels, Thor Love and Thunder, Thor Ragnarok, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel. My top 5 going from bottom to top: Avengers Endgame, No Way Home, Avengers Infinity War, Iron Man, the first Avengers.
Beautiful. I like your top 5 a lot more than your bottom 5, but it's a good list. It's a good ranking, and there's no right answers, only right people, and that would be me, of course. But my movie man Michael, thank you, Michael, for joining me for this extended, long live stream. We're never ever doing this again, so I hope it was worth it for you, because my God, I'm exhausted. I'll see you soon at a movie. Let people know once more where they can find you on YouTube. And if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor and changing your YouTube description from the artist formerly known as Iron Pact Fan to just what your YouTube channel is about now, because that doesn't need to be there anymore. So change it to something, easy. But let people know where they can find you. And guys, go over and subscribe to him, because he's good shit.
Well, thank you. I can't thank you enough for letting me join you on the stream, dude. I know we've been catching movies together for a while. It's been absolutely surreal, actually, getting to know you after watching your videos for so long. And I thanks again for this opportunity. If you guys want to follow me on YouTube, Movie Man Michael, that is my channel. Not exactly a big channel or anything, but got to start somewhere. So
got to start somewhere.
And then I have you can find my links to my Letterboxd and Serialized and GG accounts on any of my videos. They're in the description. But if you just want to know right off the bat, my account on all 3 of those platforms is Iron Pack Fan, IronPackFan. And that was again on Letterboxd, where I post movie reviews, Serialized, where I post TV show reviews, and GG, where I post video game reviews. Again, if you want the links for those are in the description of any one of my videos, and my YouTube channel is Movie Man Michael. I am so glad that we were able to do this and actually make this happen. But I need to give my voice some rest. And
I'm going to put right here before I forget, follow. There we go. Subscribe.
And yes, Ron in the comments, Naked Gun is hilarious. We just saw that last night. It was awesome.
Okay, I just put a link to your channel in the YouTube description as well. So people catching the stream after the fact will be able to see that and subscribe right there. All right, guys, this was a great time. Let me read off the super chat that came in, because I don't want to forget about that. And then we'll wrap it up. The Flute Wizard for $10. Shot out of a cannon. Thank you. You both have weathered the storm. Love your differences in the rankings. I resonate with both of you on so many different fronts. Thanks again for sharing our passion. We appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And Tuesday nights, business as usual. I'll be alone doing an AMA. Join me there. That's going to be at 8:30 Central Time, as always. And you can check out my Naked Gun review. Just went up before this stream. Tomorrow I'll have a review for Together. And then after that, I'll probably watch what I imagine is going to be a really great film called War of the Worlds. That's a Amazon Prime exclusive. I'm hearing nothing but great things. Michael, I'll see you for the next movie. Appreciate you coming on, dude.
Absolutely, man. Thank you again.
Yep. Have a good night, everyone. See you soon.